I don't think I like
Hey,
this.
what's going on, everybody? This is a very impromptu episode of OnTrack with DJ Tracktion. It is Thanksgiving Eve. I was going to kind of just be like, fuck it, it's Thanksgiving. We usually record on Thursdays, so who was I really going to get to record with on Thanksgiving? But I do have a crazy family, and they're all coming in from all different states. So I figured a few of the cousins actually all together would be a pretty cool one.
Be good.
Yeah. But maybe we'll still do that and release it next week. I don't know. It just so happens though that I run into my best friend Samantha from I don't even know where she's from now. I mean, she's originally from Long Island. That's how we met. Otherwise, probably would have never met. Yeah.
Although we met online.
Weird story, yeah. That's before it was actually like socially acceptable to meet people online.
We met online before like online even like existed.
We were early adopters of online.
That's the only early adopting I've ever done.
Yeah. Speaking of early adopting, I would want to adopt a kid that was like already 12. If I ever adopted a kid, I don't want to go through the child phase. I need someone I could kind of
but like they've got a lot of issues.
Possibly, but at least we can talk it out, and I know what he's gonna say. Like I can understand him. I'm just saying it's just for conversation, all right? I'm just saying him. I'm not gonna say him or her every time I mention it. You know, for this purpose. Exactly. It's my own fucking show. I say whatever I want.
I do what I want.
So yeah, I just feel like you can kind of talk with and relate more to a 12-year-old. They can understand your words better.
Yeah.
And
why
vice
12?
versa.
Like I feel like
it could be 10, I guess.
Younger even.
I
mean, you're not talking about like a 2-year-old.
Oh, I definitely don't want a 2-year-old.
I would. I love 2-year-olds.
Is it possible to like have a kid and then like
fast forward?
Just give it away until it's 4?
Oh yeah, that's my plan.
And get it back?
Oh yeah.
Will they give it back to you?
It depends on who you give it to. I have a plan. Don't worry.
Is it like...
Not that we're having children together, but... I have a plan for my own life.
I'm just saying, is there a place like that's legal that you can give your...
Excuse me, can you watch my child for like 4 years?
Like 4 or 5 years.
I'll take him after that, but like, you know, just lay the basics.
Yeah, just change some diapers. You can bottle feed it, that's fine.
They don't need breast milk.
And then just give it back in 5 years. 5-year-olds are cool. Yeah, 5-year-olds aren't bad.
4 is okay.
I don't know, man.
That 1 year is enough?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Why?
You're doing a lot of developing.
Yeah, I guess.
That young brain.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
You're not adopting a child.
But you know what? I would have kids a lot sooner if I didn't have to deal with it for 5 years.
So maybe you shouldn't have kids.
Because it's like you're planning it out. You're like, if I wanted to have kids, let's say by 35, right? It's like...
You better get on it.
No, I could just have one now, because then in 5 years, when I'm like 35, I'd be like, cool, now give me my 5-year-old.
Like basically a place that incubates your children.
Yeah, it's like instead of daycare, they can call it like early childhood care. All right, sorry we had a little bit of a pause there. You know, we're at Sam's house. It's right before the holiday and stuff, so there's like commotion and shit. And we're just
Laundry being done.
Yeah, we're down in the spare room, the basement converted room. Pretty nice room.
Pretending to watch TV.
Yeah. So our whole talk about kids is done. That just killed the whole vibe. Because we stopped for like 20 minutes. It doesn't sound like it's anyone
you don't
listening.
know.
Yeah, it just stops, picks it back up where we left off. So they have no idea. It actually is probably gonna sound like blah 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 5-year-old. Hey, okay, so sorry, we're not going to talk about that anymore.
Sorry about
it's
that
just
pause
one,
you didn't hear.
It's just going to be
actually,
linear.
that did happen on one of your things.
Yeah. We had I don't like editing anything, mainly because it's time consuming. There's no
because you're lazy.
Like higher power like
There's
idea.
No
Like I'm not going to misinterpret anybody. I mean, that's a part of it, but it's also just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You got to export it. You got to put it into another program, edit it out, then bounce off. It's a pain in the ass. So it's a 3-hour podcast. It might take 6 hours. Then
right.
It's nuts.
Too much.
Yeah, I'm doing this because it's quick, easy, efficient. We get it in. But there is something we talked about off air right there that we were going to talk about, but now I don't remember what it was.
Breaking Bad?
Kinda.
Nok Hockey.
Yeah. Oh, we did play Nok Hockey. We walk into the basement here, and, you know, like I said, they're getting ready. They're going to have like 30 people over for Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of little kids as part of the family. So Sam's mom was like, I got the basement set up for them. There are toys out and everything. And we come down here, and there's a legit Nok Hockey table, board, whatever it's called, like straight from 1986 or whatever, just on the floor. And us being the overgrown children that we are, we just started playing it right away. It was it all came back, but it was, I forgot some of the rules.
There was a learning curve.
Yeah, like, wait a minute, what are you exactly allowed to do in this?
We still don't know if we played it correctly.
All that's important is that I won twice. So we
I
probably did it right.
I got the winning shot, just not for the right side, okay?
It was very fun. That was kind of intense. And highly dangerous. I don't know how... This is why kids don't play it anymore, probably.
Yeah, there needs to be like a helmet with a mask.
Yeah, you definitely need a face mask. You know what I saw, though, recently?
What?
Remember those little scooter things in gym class?
You sit on them and you swivel?
Yeah. You got really fucking excited right there.
You don't understand. That was like the best part of gym for me, except for circus.
So, I don't know what the fuck circus is. I don't think I had that shit.
Oh, I had the best gym teacher ever, Mr. Manolakis.
Damn, put him on blast.
He was the best. You don't understand.
Just put his government out there.
He was the best.
So, anyway, I saw a recent Instagram picture from a friend that her kid is in a gym class, and they're still using that.
No way!
I was so surprised with how, like, just bubble wrapped everything is nowadays. I was so surprised they let them play that shit now.
They're pretty, like...
That was the most dangerous toy there was.
Really?
I'm pretty sure kids
you're, like,
lost
knuckles
fingers.
are like on the ground.
And it's on the side of the board, so if like when you smash into another one, that shit, you would lose hands, man.
Yeah.
So surprised they let kids play that. I'm happy that they do, because
that was the best.
They can't be so soft, but
I think
I hurt my finger a couple times just playing right now.
Oh, it's just.
And I was like, man, if my hand is already the size of a child. If it was any like
so it's
less,
mine.
if it was any like less developed, like I could have lost a finger playing Nok Hockey.
Yeah, I'm sure kids have.
That's what I'm saying. And like there's pieces of wood flying off of the little disc.
Well, also though, we were playing with our adult strength.
Yeah, but kids have that sugar strength. Like they're just whipping it around and stuff like.
And no restraint.
Yeah, they don't even know that it could kill them.
They might know.
Maybe.
It's possible.
Yeah. It's sad that they don't have it anymore.
I mean, they do. It's in my basement. I've got 2 of them.
But it's the original one. It's like you can't go get one right now.
Can't you?
You don't see... Have you fucking ever seen one?
I mean, how often do I go shopping for toys?
Just saying. You've been in Target. Probably not in the toy section.
Oh, well. I don't know about that.
Every time I walk through it, if there's a football or a bouncy ball, I'm bouncing through the aisle.
I love the bouncy balls. You know the ones where, like, they're in those containers with the ropes? And the ropes just, like, hold them in? That's still my favorite part of going anywhere. I'm pretty sure there's
a YouTube video of, like, some kid, like, jumping into that.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots
of them. And I think
he
might have even been, like, hitting it and then, like, jumped out at somebody or something like that.
They always smelled so good. Those and pool floats.
Pool floats?
Yeah, pool floats.
I was also wondering, was Nok Hockey, like, do you think it was popular just more locally, or do you think it was national? Like, do you think kids, like, in California, Montana, like, they were hip to Nok Hockey?
I feel like people in Montana played with cows. Or steers. Bulls? No, steers are in Texas. I don't know.
Interesting. So if anyone here is listening and you know about Nok Hockey, let me know where you live. Drop an email, drop a comment, fucking tweet me, any of that, at DJ Tracktion.
And maybe we can bring Nok Hockey back as like a thing.
It's a good game. I enjoyed it. Like I
had
a lot of fun right there. I was scared for my life through half of it too. I was pretty sure I was gonna get an eye poked out. But
not poked out.
Whatever you want to call it. I was gonna lose some type of limb.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm really good.
But at least now I know. Like, I would play it more with goggles. That would take all the fear away.
And gloves.
I really don't think I'm going to lose a finger. I mean, it was a little painful. I'll live. Same thing in air hockey. You gotta. It's just. It's part of the game. You're like, you know.
But I feel like air hockey, the puck is not a big wood disc.
Plastic one.
Plastic, but it's like thin.
And it goes way faster.
This is true.
If that shit hits your fucking hand.
Oh, like your knuckle?
Like, say your pinky's like off the thing or something, or a finger's loose.
Maybe.
It's just gonna hurt, man.
I love air hockey.
Air hockey's awesome.
We should really like make an. What if we have like an air hockey store? Not a store, like a club. Air hockey and Nok Hockey.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
That's a great idea. It's like a pool hall.
Yeah, and those like barely work.
I mean, I feel like
you know
really,
which one just closed? The one that's yeah, that's
House
literally
of Lords.
Yep, it must have been there for. No. Do you think a conservative guess of 40 years would be fucking close?
Yes. Oh my god, that was like where we used to go, like. I feel like there was like a ghetto period in my childhood where I used to go to House of Lords.
I just know my dad used to hang out there and took me there when I was like fucking 8. Like, I couldn't even see over. That's actually where I started. I got pretty decent at pool. That's where I learned
how to smoke a cigar.
Yeah, I got pretty decent at pool because like when I started playing, when I couldn't even see like over the table and just using my hands. And then over the years, obviously, I got a tad bit taller. Not much, but like, just enough to actually play correctly.
Just enough to see.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What did they put there?
There's nothing there right now that I know of.
That's
it's
so
just closed
depressing.
right now.
We should buy it and like start a Nok Hockey club.
That's not going to last. That's not a viable business model. It's
only because people don't play it anymore because they don't realize how fun it is. Think about it.
I just feel like, all right, I don't know shit about business, but I think your acquisition per customer is going to be very high. Well, if you have to educate the public again on Nok Hockey.
Well, no, not educate it, just make it available. All you have to do is get someone in there.
Trust me, if you build it, they will come. Does not work in real life.
I think it does.
Oh my god, I've tried it. It doesn't work.
With what? What have you built?
I'm not going to go into it all right? I'm just saying, I've tried that theory out. I've talked about it on my first blog.
I think I read that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember seeing any. Oh, I did.
Yeah, it was in quotations. I remember.
I know. I just remembered. So, well, your blog is in a funny color scheme. It was hard to remember anything.
Yeah, I'm working on changing that.
Sorry.
If anybody has any experience with Squarespace, let me know about that. I'm going to do kind of a side project site on that to kind of test it out. But I'm really more concerned with the SEO of it if I'm going to use it for my other business because I want that shit to be found. But it looks easy enough to use and pretty inexpensive, so... I mean, the WordPress...
Squarespace the one that they talk about on the Joe Rogan Experience?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Stitcher is they like to have commercials.
So that
on Stitcher
marketing works. Podcast marketing.
Well, yeah, but you also got to take into account that Joe Rogan has like 1 million subscribers or something like that.
This is also true.
Yeah, he has like the biggest one. Like of
actually,
all
I learned about Squarespace from him, and then I think I stopped listening.
No, I mean, he has a great one. It's a little annoying that he has about 15 minutes of commercial in the beginning. But
well, yeah, that's annoying.
But what's nice is you can. I mean, it's obviously easy enough to skip it.
You just skip.
You got that 30-second search thing on the Stitcher app.
Is it not like
you
YouTube where you have to listen for like a certain amount of seconds?
No, you don't have to listen to it. You skip right through it. Yeah, even on YouTube you can skip through it.
Not always. There are some that like it'll say like skip in 3 seconds, but there are some that makes you play.
If you notice, sometimes they have the little yellow bar in the timeline thing, and those are all ads. So you can't skip ahead of the ads. They'll play the ad, and then you can skip ahead again. That happens a lot.
I hate those ads. It really ruined YouTube.
I agree that they definitely suck, especially when you don't have the skip option. When it's
that's what I mean.
When it's like a fucking there was one on today that was like a 4-minute commercial. I'm like,
yeah,
the clip I want to watch is only 30 seconds. Why don't I watch this fucking 4-minute commercial?
Exactly.
It's like that's not what in this now like everything instant gratification, everything's accessible right now culture. 4-minute commercials don't fly. Even a minute commercial in front of it, it's like
no, like you need 15 seconds or less.
Give me
That's
the
all
option.
the attention you're getting out of me.
And there was one I actually posted on Instagram because it happened all the time on Stitcher. It wasn't a long one, but it played all the time when you went back to it. It was for Land Rover or Range Rover, and it was like a 5-second commercial. And on the thing it said, where you can skip it. It said you can skip this in 6 seconds.
I was like, it's like you must listen.
I was like,
thing.
Really? I can skip it in 6 seconds. I'm not gonna need to skip it in 6. It's a 5-second fucking commercial. Yeah. Like how fucking pointless.
What do they get across in 5 seconds? Land Rover. Done.
Buy me.
Yeah, like, that's ridiculous. Although, it must have worked because we're talking about it right now.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go buy a Land Rover, so it's not really...
Yeah, but maybe if you had the money, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
I actually really want a Range Rover.
I used to like those, but now that I'm more of an educated consumer, it's not a car I would buy.
But the Range Rover Sport got a very good review. The new one. It's really nice.
I'm more of... If I bought a luxury brand SUV, I think the Benz GLK, I really like that one. That one is a nice one.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm sure, the Q3, Q5, the Audi. Shit is dope.
The Audi is kind of like blah, though.
Nah, I disagree, yeah.
It's kind of like I don't know, like a bug or an egg.
And I'm a BMW fan, but so far none of their SUV
I like the X6.
options.
X6 is nice.
Anyway.
It's also kind of like an egg on wheels, though. Maybe. No?
That's what the Juke reminds me of.
Oh my god, that's the ugliest car I've ever seen. No, I'm sorry. Your old car was the ugliest car I've ever seen. The Pontiac.
Oh, that Aztec?
Aztec?
Yeah, I did have the Aztec.
Was it a Pontiac?
Yeah, it was a Pontiac.
Wasn't it voted like the ugliest car ever to be made?
Maybe. There's a good chance that it was. Though, it was also got really good reviews and everything else.
Did it?
And I gotta say, it was a really good car. Like, you could fit a shit ton of stuff in it.
Yeah, but
everything was like, it was so weird that the inside of a car could be designed so well, and the outside, they just it's like they didn't even hire anyone for it. They just were like, everybody, look, this is what we're focusing on. And then at the end, right before it hit production, they're like,
shit, what does it look like?
You know, we don't have any mock-ups for what this looks like. They went to like the trash bin, got out the first crumpled piece of paper, and were like, this one, go with this one.
This works.
We start tomorrow, go.
Yeah, it was a horrible
It was one
car.
I believe it was one of definitely one of the early cars that had like the heads-up display on the windshield. It was
what is that?
It was like, I don't know if you remember, was it Nintendo, Virtual Nintendo or Nintendo 3D? Like, you know, like it had like the face mask thing, and it was everything was in red.
Kind of.
It was like that type of graphic.
It had that?
So it was red, yeah, and it shot it up right on the windshield, right above the steering wheel, pretty much.
That's kind of cool.
And it was really cool because it had your speed. It had.
But is that the only place you could see it?
Yeah, I don't think you can move it anywhere.
That's kind of dumb.
But that's the point. So you don't ever have to take your eyes off to find out information on the car. You just look at the road the whole time.
That's pretty genius.
Exactly. I'm telling you, it had really good stuff in it. Like, very good interior features. It just
was hideous.
It looked like it got into an accident before they sold it to you.
They sold it to you.
And
Why did you buy it?
And had an overbite.
Or like a behind.
Or underbite. Or like it got its bottom teeth punched out. I wish we had video of watching you trying to move your mouth to see if you can match up to what the car looked like.
I guess it's an overbite. Underbite?
Either way, it was hideous.
Yeah, either way.
I don't know. It was just what was available at the time and the price and stuff and what I needed it for. Just it got really good gas mileage too.
Really?
Yeah, it actually did.
But it's huge.
I know. I'm telling you, everything about the car was good except for the fucking way it looked.
Wait, do you say huge or huge?
Huge.
Okay.
Huge? Why would you say huge?
A lot of people say huge.
You're missing a letter.
My dad says huge all the time.
Huge. It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. No H, just huge.
That's lazy.
It's like a silent H.
But it's not.
Like honest.
It's not like knife.
That's a K.
I'm just saying it's not a silent letter. Like it's huge. That's how you would say it.
Because that's how you say it.
If take out your phone and go to dictionary.com and see how they pronounce it, it's gonna be huge. There's no.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be missing an H in the phonetics underneath in parentheses.
Huge. I don't know. I thought it was a Long Island thing. It's huge. It's huge.
There are a lot of things that are a Long Island thing, but I don't think that is a typical one.
Then maybe my dad's just weird. It's very possible.
Yeah.
He's weird anyway.
Yeah, no.
He's awesome, but he's weird.
Yeah, no, I can go with that one.
It's huge. I don't know. I'm gonna look this up now.
And you teach English.
Yeah, but like I don't teach huge. I teach
how long?
Huge.
All right, good. We're only 20 minutes in. I was gonna say we didn't even really start talking about any of the reason why I'm even having you on here.
Obviously people can tell I'm awesome.
Well, I guess that was the reason, and very modest. I think that was the number one reason why I wanted you.
Yes, that is my best quality.
But yeah, because there was a whole bunch of like prefacing and like warnings I was gonna do before this started, but you know how it goes. We just
warnings.
Not like warnings, but just like, hey, like, disclaimer. This is my best friend.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? This is, it's usually it's somebody that has like.
By the way, that's true. I am the best
done
friend.
Something.
Excuse me.
That didn't come out correctly.
Yeah, no, you actually don't do anything. You're just my friend, so like, why don't you just come chat with me?
You're like my Nicole Richie.
Really? Wait, so I don't know which is worse, that you've compared yourself to Paris Hilton or
bad.
I.
You know why though? Because
you know what? Nicole Richie is doing way better, so I'm okay with that.
Do you know how much Paris Hilton gets paid to quote unquote DJ?
She DJ?
Yes. Well, no, she doesn't actually DJ. But she apparently calls herself a DJ and gets paid to charade as a DJ and get in Ibiza for $1 million a gig.
No.
Yes. And this is why
it was... real, like Paris Hilton.
Yeah, the Paris Hilton.
But does anyone care about her anymore?
It's so mind-boggling shocking to me, because I would figure if anyone didn't care about her, it would be people in Spain. Why you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but people in Spain don't go to Ibiza. People in the UK go to Ibiza.
All right. Well, whatever. I would figure that they wouldn't give a shit either. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody gives a shit.
Because I'm also under the opinion that they're used to actually good DJs. You know what I'm saying? Even these even the blowing up of the mainstream like producer DJ. It doesn't really DJ, but they have.
Which I really would like to understand.
Yeah, I don't. So would I.
No, but like, what do they do? Do they play music?
They literally, the majority of them have just a CD or maybe a USB or whatever it is they're getting their set off of, but it's a pre-recorded set. And they kind of just
push play.
Pretend to, then they kind of pretend to do some knob twisting, and then they just dance around there. And some people like Steve Aoki kind of have more of a elaborate show where he like throwing cake at people and stuff, and he's not even by the damn DJ booth.
Really?
It's fascinating how it happened.
So it's not actual DJing.
No. There's a few exceptions, like Laid Back Luke is an exception. He is DJing his set. That's one of the things I really like about him. One of my favorite like EDM DJs is it was definitely him. A-Track can.
But do they?
A-Track is wouldn't say he's an EDM DJ, because that's not where his base from and where he comes from. But he's more of kind of plays a whole bunch of whatever, and he ends up on a lot of EDM shows now. But he also is really DJing when he does. But
like
his thing.
When they put together the playlist, do they make it beforehand? Is it their playlist?
Oh yeah, that
okay.
So it's just like
lip syncing, but for DJs. It's DJ lip syncing.
It's the Milli Vanilliing of DJing.
Wow, that's so weird.
And they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wait, so how do you become one of these people? Because like
you
you're
got to
doing
produce
this all
hit
wrong.
records.
Wait, but so they're just music producers that happen to DJ?
No, they're mostly music producers that are now being thrown into gigs where they're being called DJs.
Oh. So like, okay. So you know the DJs that like put out CDs? What is that guy's name? The guy. You know that one guy that puts out CDs. No, but like there are DJs.
What kind of music?
I don't know.
All right.
It's on the radio. I know that's
what
not
station?
Helpful.
What is it?
I don't know. All right. So anyway, DJs that put away.
All right. Let me. All right. As a little bit of the disclaimer of why it sounds like you don't fucking know anything that's going on in the States, is because you don't live here anymore.
This is also.
All right. That's one of the things I wanted to put out there before we started.
Oh yeah. Disclaimer.
Yeah. So there we have that. We'll get to the rest of it later. So yeah, ask you a question about that one DJ that makes the CDs.
Well, I just feel like there's DJs that like make songs for the radio, but like they're not singing and they're not. What do? You know that song?
You mean DJ Khaled?
No.
All right.
It's like dancing music. Avicii? Is that a DJ?
He's technically a producer.
Ah. But he puts out albums.
Yeah.
Is it Avicii? Was the Wake Me Up?
Yeah, that's Avicii.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So, like, he doesn't sing, right? It's not him singing. No. What about the music is his? Why is it him?
Well, he produced it. So, he made the beat, the melody, all that stuff, and then most likely had some type of hand in the vocals. either selecting who it is, maybe writing it. I've never looked at the credits of his song, so I don't know who actually wrote the vocals.
But like what I don't understand is like, okay, Britney Spears, for example, doesn't write most of her stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So there's someone else who's writing all the vocals.
Because you're also talking different genres. So like pop music is different because it's kind of known for just having an image. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like a Britney Spears, an NSYNC,
right,
all
like
that
someone
stuff.
to sing the music.
Yeah. Even Rihanna.
Right.
But Beyonce.
Excuse me, Beyonce is the queen.
Oh, she's awesome, but I don't know how much of her own stuff she writes.
Oh yeah, no.
It's probably little to nothing.
Probably.
So, that's that. So, and then when you're talking about hip hop, it's a little different because
they write their own stuff, right?
For the most part, there are some ghostwriters. There's ghostwriting going on. Diddy's been known to not write his own stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not that shocking.
And there's like the dude Mad Skills who wrote a lot of his stuff, and just he ghostwrites in general. Royce the 5'9" is ghostwritten for people. Dr. Dre has been ghostwritten for.
What?
There are songs, and there are certain songs I don't totally remember. I want to say The Watcher 2 was written by Jay-Z, like Dre's verse.
I don't even know what that is.
It's on the Blueprint 2 album.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell, like, you like sometimes when you really delve into it and find out who ghostwrote what, you can kind of see their style in it, you know. So you'd be like, oh yeah, that definitely sounds like
that sounds like this guy
that Jay wrote that, you know, or that Royce the 5'9" could have wrote that, or whatever it is. It's not. So I'd like to say it's not real prevalent because rappers are supposed to be known for keeping it real and writing their own shit. So a lot of them, and the majority of them definitely do, but there are a few that don't. There's some big name ones that don't, and there are probably some newer ones. I feel like it's probably more prevalent in the newer crowd too.
Right.
That they might just take whatever and rap whoever's shit.
Right.
And even
but they're performers. It's not necessarily they're not necessarily like writers or artists.
Yeah.
They're performers.
And when you go to a concert, they're still rapping their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're doing
Exactly.
their show.
Okay.
So now when you get into like EDM and stuff,
right?
And
that's
house
where
music,
I get confused.
A lot of house music, if it's not vocal house, it doesn't really have vocals in it. So what they did, they produced the song. They made the beat, and the melody.
Right. So they've created this song.
Yeah, and they might drop in some samples in there or whatever they did to create the song.
Okay.
So now, when that got really big, and again, when vocals are involved, they probably, as a producer of a song, like when Timbaland produces a song, he makes the beat, but he's gonna probably have some say in the hook, and the structure of the song, Right. Same thing when Pharrell makes one and everything.
Okay.
So now, when an EDM guy or house guy, or whatever, is making a vocal house track, they probably have some say in like what they wanted it to be about, or it could be a collaborative effort where they bring it to a singer that they wanted to hear on it that they think would sound good, and they would do their thing and collaborate on it.
Okay.
And then they arrange it. And sometimes, especially when you get more into like the bigger name people and stuff that goes on the radio and that is made for mass consumption now, there are probably a few more hands in it, as far as arrangements go and stuff like that.
Okay, so they kind of like get the idea and then make it.
Yeah, and make it happen.
Oh, all right.
So now they've taken that, and since for some reason I guess they didn't know how to package it as for them to do a show, because it's not like a rock band.
Right. Well, that's why I don't understand. Like.
So they were like, well, you DJ then. We'll call it a DJ. We'll say that you're DJing.
Ah, okay. So they're not really DJing. They're
a lot of them aren't.
They're just creating this music, but it's already created.
Well, but they're created by them though. The majority.
No,
of
I know
them,
that, but
they're definitely like they do shows where it's not like they're just playing their music all the time for the whole set.
Oh, so they do DJ.
It's the majority. No, because it's still preset. They just chose to put that song in that set.
Like in a playlist.
Yeah.
Basically, they're playing you a playlist.
It's usually mixed though, so I don't know who mixed it beforehand. Seriously,
so they're pretending to do the mixing.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's been some very clear evidence of that.
That's really strange.
Yeah, it is. And but some of them have been vocal about it.
Their music.
Some of them have been vocal about it, and like have said that they're not a DJ, like Deadmau5, Avicii.
Really?
They've all like I'm not a DJ. I'm a producer, so my show is not geared to be like I'm up there DJing.
So then why do people go see them?
it has to, for the experience, I guess. I mean, usually you have really good visuals to go along with it, like someone like Deadmau5 does.
Well, right.
And depending on the venue, like, you know, there's some people that are really known for their visuals. Armin van Buuren is one of them.
Okay, so it's more like you're going just for the whole package.
Yeah.
It's not just see music.
It's like when you go, you know, when you go to like the Pink Floyd like laser thing or whatever.
Yeah.
It was similar to that.
Okay, got it.
And also, still. It is weird because it's not like it's something's getting performed live. Like when you go to
it's not like a concert,
a rock concert or a rapper or whatever it is, or a singer, where they're like, oh, they're awesome because they can do this live. It's everything that the other guy that their quote unquote DJ is doing is really just work they produce. It's already done.
Right.
So there's nothing really live going on except for, like I said, if they sync it up with visuals or throw a cake at you.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Now one more DJ question.
Sure.
So like, say a rapper or a singer has a show and they bring a DJ with them. Is it like, why?
Well, it depends. Like if you're someone who had a DJ in your crew, like say if you're like Gangsta and you have DJ Premier as part of your crew, like he makes basically almost all the beats for Guru and stuff. I mean, rest in peace, Guru, you know, not with us anymore. But if they
I don't actually know who that is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll let it slide. Or you know, any group that has a DJ that is part of the group or something, like you would do a show around that. You know, you would incorporate that.
But that's different from like, okay.
Because you wouldn't. Let's say you wouldn't. You can do it. You know, you can be creative with it and have fun because you have the power to control everything. So you would put together a show like maybe you're doing only a verse from a certain song, and then the DJ starts cutting something in, or you can do a call and response with the DJ. The MC could, you know, tell them like, whoa, cut that off, and like, you know, do a backspin, and they're like, you know what I really want to do. You know what I really want to do from here, and they're like, you know, you can do stuff to hype it up.
But that's more like rappers. I'm talking about like, for example, on the AMAs the other day, I think it was Iggy Azalea or one of these performers had like their DJ with them.
I think,
and it was like, but it was just a regular song.
Yeah, sometimes it's just for show. So like especially for the American Movie Awards, there was actually a picture of that.
Maybe it wasn't Iggy.
It was DJ Mustard, and
it was whoever.
And there was nothing on his screen. Like they had a picture.
Really?
The screenshot of his computer screen, because he was supposed to be up there DJing, and there's nothing loaded.
Yeah, it was whatever that was, that guy. Because I was looking at it and thinking like, this is a song that's already been. They're probably lip syncing it.
Now, usually for award shows like that, they are lip syncing it. Usually,
most of the time.
And they're not doing anything live because it's for live TV, so they don't want to chance it, basically.
Right, but
and that's pretty much that's pretty much standard
fair.
for those.
I get that. But like, why do you need a DJ?
It's for show. It's literally for show.
Oh, because like really, all they're doing is playing.
Not doing. I mean, he wasn't even doing that. It's not even like he was playing the instrumental for it. You know.
Right.
It was just literally for show. Yeah.
Okay. Because I just didn't understand, like, what's the point of that?
And sometimes, like, if they do a live performance, let's say on The Tonight Show or something like that, or on Jimmy Kimmel.
Is that live? They don't lip sync on that.
No, they usually, or Saturday Night Live, they're usually performing that.
Right.
And if there's a song that had like some cuts in it, like they'll have the DJ there live and he'll do the cuts.
Right. Okay, fine. So that makes sense. Yeah. I just thought like things like the music show.
But what was a good sense. This brings us all the way back to why the fuck I had mentioned Paris Hilton to begin with. I
don't even remember where that came from, other than you called me Nicole Richie.
Yeah. There was a tweet. She tweeted something. So all right. So obviously, Paris Hilton has no DJ skill whatsoever. Right. There's been a whole bunch of shit going around the internet, especially in DJ circles, of like, somebody. There's a famous picture of her like at the set at a gig, and someone else is under there like trying to like readjust something.
Seriously?
Because she has no idea what she's doing up there. Not a fucking clue. She used to date Afrojack. That's how I think this started. She kind of got into. Was like, oh, fuck it, I can, if he's pretending up there, why can't I? But at least he makes fucking songs. He produces. Oh. And I don't know if he really DJs when he's performing.
Is that the Because I Got High guy?
No, that's, oh God.
Sorry.
I wish I
Afro Man.
I wish I could edit that out.
Is that Afro Man? Is it Afro Man?
Yeah.
Whatever, it's the same beginning.
That's good.
Sorry,
all right.
Afrojack.
That would be like somebody visiting New Jersey and be like, this is like New York, right?
Oh, God. Apologies to New Jersey as well. Actually,
Same
apologies to
right?
New York.
Exactly. What the hell is wrong with you? You've been out of here too long. You don't even know where your alliance is like.
I don't even know what Afrojack is. Is that something I should know?
Again, it's like if you're into that music, yes.
What kind of music is it?
It's the EDM. We'll just label it that.
I would have guessed rapper.
More like electro, I guess.
Really? See, I don't even know the difference between any of these.
Yeah.
Probably because I avoid it at all costs. It gives me anxiety.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a whole bunch of shit about Paris Hilton being a fucking terrible DJ and just fucking faking it and somehow getting $1 million a gig and.
But she gets $1 million to do like the dumbest shit anyway. Paris Hilton, who doesn't need the money, is the worst part of it.
So anyway, she's doing this shit, and apparently she tweeted something about the riots in Ferguson. I don't know if you know anything about that.
Oh jeez.
So anyway, she tweeted something like that was like, I don't understand why you would riot and loot your own city. Like that's such fake support and whatever. That's not real. And then somebody retweeted or quote tweeted it and responded and was like, yeah, now you know how us DJs feel. And it's really good. I was like, oh, yep, nailed it.
I didn't even know she was still like doing anything. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And then what I was saying also about that is I just felt like a lot of these people in this new, like, I guess, like, American wave of EDM, like, most of them are from, like, the Netherlands and New Zealand, and they're all...
New Zealand?
Yeah, they got some producers. And Belgium. Like, they're all in, like, a whole... Like, all these European countries.
New Zealand's not Europe.
Well, whatever. A lot of them are from European countries, and some of the other ones.
And some of the rest.
that are in that area.
Not even close.
Well, not even close. Yeah, New Zealand's not even close.
Did you take geography? Ever?
How much stuff do you remember from 10th grade? Just name me a few things. Not French related.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I took in 10th grade.
There you go.
I remember I took global history.
All right, we're not going to talk about 10th grade.
We learned about Buddha.
I don't give a shit.
Jains. I know about Jains. They sweep the floor before they walk so they don't step on ants. Did you know that?
I do now.
Yeah, Jain Buddhists. I don't know if it's actually Buddhist. I might have to retract that. But they're Jainism. So I do remember things from 10th grade.
What do they do when they're sick?
What do you mean?
You don't want to kill anything, like bacteria, viruses. Do they count?
I don't know if that counts.
It's all fun and games until it's trying to kill you?
Yeah. I think it's like creatures, not bacteria. Like, I don't know if they're going for like single or a few cell organisms. All right. Although they might be.
All right.
If anyone's a Jain and wants to comment on that, feel free.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we probably have a lot of those listeners.
You know what? Don't assume.
I'm not. I'm just. I am. That's totally.
You
what
are
I'm
assuming.
Doing. Yeah.
I know someone who knows a Jain.
Tell her to listen to it.
I'm gonna have to ask.
Or him.
I don't know.
Just because you keep saying Jane, I'm just assuming it's her. But I know it has nothing to do with their name.
J-A-I-N.
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, I think it is her.
That's great.
Anyway, 10th grade.
So anyway, a lot of the producers are big over there, right?
Right.
And so I feel like they're used to like that, like real house or whatever, real EDM sound or whatever it is.
Right.
So like, why are you going to go see Paris Hilton? She didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
She's not producing shit. Like, what? I don't get it.
Maybe they're not going to see Paris Hilton. Maybe they're just going there and she happens to be there and they're not going to leave.
But they know that's who's gonna be there. It's not like you went somewhere and accidentally were like, "Oh, Paris is DJing tonight." Well, fuck it, we're already here.
No.
No, that's not happening.
Oh. Do you have to like purchase tickets?
I'm assuming that's the only way they let you in.
Oh. I just figured it was like going to a club, you know.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could pay at the door too, for the most part. But
so then maybe you don't know.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm not really sure. I've never been to this place.
Because she's the headliner, so it's like you're not gonna know her name as a head like.
But like, she doesn't produce music, so like, how is she a headliner?
I don't get it. I have no idea.
Well, I guess DJs are headliners, and they don't necessarily produce music. But she's not a DJ.
She's not either. She's not a producer or a DJ.
She's really just a glorified home porn star.
Yes. She's the white blonde Kim K. Before Kim K.
Kim K?
Kardashian?
I know.
Okay.
I was thinking like Kim W. maybe. Did she change her name?
I don't know. No one's ever gonna call her
Kim West. It doesn't make sense because her name's a brand.
Exactly. So that's why she would keep that.
Yeah.
Oh, and Iggy Azalea won Best Rap Album at the American Movie Awards.
I know.
Awards, yeah.
American
Music
Awards.
I said movie, yeah. That's what I was like, I got one word wrong.
There's something
but
wrong.
It wasn't awards. Awards I got right. It was like one of those words wasn't the one it was supposed to be.
I was watching it and I was thinking, she beat Eminem. I really like Eminem.
And Drake. And what a monster year. I don't care what you want to say about his album, but he had a fucking monster year.
I don't really
I can only name, like, for the most part, I mean, I guess technically I can name 2 songs off the album.
Booty? Nope, that's J-Lo, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't on Iggy's album. And I'm not even 100% sure if Black Widow was.
I don't even know what that is.
So you had Fancy. I mean, I guess it was a big song for the year. But, again.
But is that rap?
Yeah, I don't know what you want to call it. Technically, she's
rapping.
She's
Australian. I feel like, that doesn't count. Sorry, Australia.
It's just, I mean, that type of award show, though, it's not made for, like...
Well, it's not showcasing rap.
Yeah, that's not what it's for.
It's like general.
Like, and you can even make, I mean, a lot of people make the argument that even the BT Awards and stuff, when they do it, like, even that is not real representative of, like, of rap and everything. So it's like, all these award shows are bullshit, basically. Is what it comes down to.
It's all, like, mainstream.
Yeah.
Not that I'm anything, like, underground or anything, as you can tell.
M just came out with a new, like, mixtape thing. I think it's...
Really?
I want to say it's, like, a showcase of everyone. Like, it's all Slaughterhouse, and he kind of added that other dude in, Yellow Wolf and stuff. So I think it's, like, it has tracks with everybody. I didn't get to listen to it yet, but the one that I know they kind of hyped it with a freestyle that they did that was pretty dope. And they had everybody, like, in their hometown and shit where they rap. And they all pretty much went off for the most part. But M's was, like, kind of, like, real crazy.
I like him.
And Crooked Eye let it off, and he's always dope, yo. He killed his. Joe Budden's was depressive as hell. Like, it made me want to fucking hang myself after listening to his verse. But it was like, but what was cool about it, cause like it was like extra real. You know what I'm saying?
It was just
but it's just fucking depressing.
That's sad.
Joel T's is usually really nice. His was a little, I mean, it was cool, but he was throwing a lot of numbers out there. I don't think his math was correct. And Yellow was pretty dope too. I'm not a huge fan of his, but he said some cool shit.
I don't know who any of these people are.
And then Eminem, Royce went ham on it, and Eminem just went Eminem on it, basically.
Love him. They should do an 8 Mile too.
What? It's like yeah.
Wait, how did it end?
Hold on. It's basically you just basically said yeah, your biography needs a part 2.
Well, yeah, they need an update. We need to see what happened after.
It needs a fucking sequel.
Well, yeah, I mean...
You know what happened.
Well,
you know exactly what happened.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Well, they could chronicle his, like, fame.
Because it was more like... Basically, the point of that movie was like, oh, what happened before
right, but then maybe, like,
famous.
we could say, like, behind the scenes. But even...
I mean, it's also loosely based on it. It's not scene for scene what happened in his life. Because at the end of the movie, it's... Nothing really changes. He still has to do the same shit he had to do throughout the whole movie. Yeah. Like, in life. You know what I'm saying? Job-wise and all that shit. He's still in fucking Detroit and stuff. And
but why can't they do it?
It was just the fact that he broke out of his shell and fucking...
Right.
Killed it on stage.
But then they could chronicle him rising to fame. It'd be a good movie. I'd watch it.
It could be, I guess.
I mean, why not?
What are you going to name it? You can't name it 8 Mile 2. I hate shit like that. That sounds so stupid.
8 Mile Rise to Fame.
Like 8 Mile further down the road.
Slim Shady, LP. What does LP and EP stand for?
Long playing was LP. I'm pretty sure EP was extended play.
Was that like record talk?
But that was, yeah. And EPs were shorter though. So I think it was, and maybe because it was more than a single, so it was extended play. It was like, have like 3 or 4 songs on it. Maybe like 6 would be a decent EP.
Like a half.
And then an LP would have, 10, 11, 12, whatever, 13
So
songs.
an LP is like a full album kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Always wondered about that.
Yeah.
It's 11:11, Sorry, I have to make a wish. I know it's really ridiculous.
Oh, good. You're into superstitions. Awesome.
Oh man, I missed it.
Oh, snooze, you lose.
Whatever. Wait, but I forgot about what I was going to say now. LP. Nope.
All right, awesome.
I got nothing.
Good talk. Well, it was funny. We were talked about something when I had cinema on DJ Cinema on the.
I didn't listen to that one yet. Sorry. Oh no, maybe I did. Is he your hair cutter?
He is a barber too. He's not my barber, but he works at the barber shop that I go to. It's just weird. It just so happened that, I forgot who put me on to the guy that was there. Because that's how did I know him before that? I don't know if that's why I met him. It makes sense that I met him there. But yeah. I had just started going to someone else that was there who never left. So I've been going there for 10 years.
Okay.
So the same guy. And it would just seem weird at any point.
It's switch over.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like him better.
Yeah. It's like, so. But shout out to Rennie because he's awesome. So. But we talked about how, and I saw it being talked about, I think, on, it might have been The View. Or.
Watch The View?
It's just on. Channel 7's always on at my house.
Oh, that's right. It never changes.
Yeah. Some TV in some room has Channel 7 on. So by the time I'm up and coherent, The View is usually on.
The View's good though.
I like it, and you know why? Because they talk. I mean, it's still.
It's kind of like this.
It's still corporate, right? So they still.
Well, yeah.
Have to talk about certain shit, and there's still stuff that they're just
promote.
That's advertising, yeah. But they still can give enough of themselves.
I think they keep it real enough to make it watchable.
Exactly, and I agree with that. And so it's not bad. I don't mind it. And again, I always enjoy just getting different perspectives on stuff anyway, from wherever it comes from. So, and so I don't know if it was them or maybe it was something else I was listening to that mentioned Taylor Swift also, or maybe they were both talking about it in different angles.
Yeah,
could have been as well. But basically, we're talking about what we had talked about, how there's probably not going to be any albums soon. People aren't going to release albums.
Oh, I did listen to that
it'd just be songs, because that's all that people are interested in, and that's all they have the attention
one song
span
at a time
for. So then the other thing I heard was in reference to Taylor Swift not taking her songs off of Spotify.
Wait, what?
She took her songs off of Spotify.
All of them?
All of them. Yeah,
Why?
She's not affiliated with it.
Because she doesn't want free stuff?
No, it's not. Well, yes, she believes, the statements that she's put out is the art is worth something, and the content creators are not getting basically their fair share for how many times that people are listening to the songs.
Okay.
Because their business model really doesn't allow for that when you only what is it, $7 a month, $8 a month or something? Mm-hmm. Maybe at the most it's $10. So yeah, what can they really divvy out? And it's hundreds of millions of listens that they're going through.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
And there was somebody, famous musician, that actually tweeted his royalty check from these places.
Oh,
and
really?
It's pathetic.
10 cents.
Yeah, it was change. That's a couple dollars maybe.
But they're not doing it to get money off of the Spotify checks, are they?
No, there's not one musician that ever went into it saying, I'm going to make it big streaming my music off of Spotify. And
well,
Pandora.
No, but people, I feel like musicians make money based on shows and stuff. And endorsements. It's about the fame more than, for the major people, not people who are just doing it for the love. But
what you're saying is, if that's going to be the socially acceptable way for them to make money, that's the only way that they're supposed to profit, is from not only creating the song, but then they actually have to go out and play it every time to make money. How ridiculous does that sound? It's I created this piece of artwork. Well, that'd be like if you painted a painting, right? And instead of selling it to the highest bidder for $1 million or whatever it was, you'd have to go. Everybody who wanted it, you'd have to actually go and paint it again in their house or something, and be all right, because that would be you're buying a ticket to the show. Right,
but it's not that. That would be the only way that they make their money. But that would be
But even if it's the lion's share, it would force them that's what they have to do.
But that's what it is anyway.
And that's not what it always was. That's where it's changing, and that's what's creating the shift. And why a lot of artists are mad about it too.
Yeah, I mean, I get
it's
that.
It's a double-edged sword. It works both ways. Like, established artists hate it because they're used to getting royalty checks that are huge and stuff, and now, like, that revenue stream has
But what about,
shrunk.
like, radio?
I don't know what the fuck they get for that, because it has to be something similar, too, and I wondered about that as well, because they have to pay the publishing companies. Like, the radio pays publishing companies.
Right.
And then that gets divvied out
then
based on plays. So, I'm assuming... It's all assumption. I can't even say. I have no idea what the percentage is.
Like radio plays or royalties for like other things, like movies that play their music.
Oh yeah, anything that it gets licensed to is through publishing.
But they also have all this endorsement stuff.
Also, especially way back when, a lot of artists got fucked out of their publishing, so they're signing deals.
Yeah,
it was not uncommon for a well-known artist to be second, third album deep and still owe the label money. You know.
Wow.
Exactly. They it's not like it was always on the up and up and and it was all peachy, you know?
Right.
So yeah, now labels, they have what are called 360 deals, since music isn't selling as much.
Right.
And they aren't selling physical copies of albums and stuff like that, where now the label is getting cuts from them touring and stuff like that, from performances. And
they didn't always?
No. They usually didn't.
Okay.
You know? So, and when you think about it too, at first, like whenever a band or an artist got an advance, it was basically a loan from the label.
Really?
Yeah. So
to do what?
To basically be able to make the album. Like, they're investing in you to make it. So, like, say you fucking worked at McDonald's, but wrote songs in your basement.
Right. You need the money to actually
Here's $100,000. This is your advance.
Right. So don't do anything else. Just
make
write
this album.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It would give them the ability to do that. But they have to pay that money back on album sales. So until that company recoups $100,000, they're not getting another check.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then they would be whatever percentage after that, and it usually wasn't a good one.
Right.
You know, with a major, maybe you're getting $1 an album, maybe.
But
maybe
if you sell a lot of albums.
Yeah, if you sell 1 million albums, you could get $1 million check.
Right.
But how hard is it to sell 1 million albums? Back in the day, it was way more.
But $1 million. Yes, but $1 million back in the day was a lot of money.
Yeah, it went further. Yeah.
Like, so you'd have to sell that. You know what I mean? Like.
But there was only one album that went platinum this year.
Really?
Yep. And up until September or October, there were none. They were talking about this would be the first year that no album went platinum. An album that was released this year. And I think they meant new albums too, because I think there was like an Eagles Greatest Hits album that came out that might have went platinum, but I don't think that counted.
That's insane.
And it happened to be Taylor Swift.
What?
I mean, you could see that it would be someone like that if it was.
Like a Bieber or One Direction.
I mean, it makes sense.
But I guess because those are the people that are buying the music. I see what you're saying, though.
And a lot of them are just buying out. A lot of singles. I mean, a lot of them are just buying singles. A lot of singles went platinum. You know,
okay, but a full album didn't go platinum.
But a full album didn't, yeah. And so her beef, and one of the things that she was saying about it too, is that, you know, it's an art. So we're creating an art. It's made to be listened to as an album. And I thought it was, I mean, I've never listened to any of her albums all the way through.
I understand that.
I can kind of see that where maybe some of her earlier ones might have been constructed that way.
Right, but
it's hard to believe the new one is.
Like, Shake It Off. I can't imagine that's part of a whole grand scheme of things.
Right? But also, you know what? I'll defend that song a little, because when you actually listen to it, like, she is talking about, like, shit that she goes through, like, that she gets, like, talk shit about, like, in the media, like, all the time.
Yeah. So
she's kind of, like, quote unquote keeping it real and, like, addressing it and stuff. And again, I didn't listen to the rest of her album, but I'm sure there could be other real life stuff going on, or that could be a segue into something. So maybe as an overall collective body of work, her album is good to listen to together, maybe, you know, as one.
Right.
As one.
Like a cohesive kind of thing.
But I think it's going to balance itself out where, like, the people that you expect to put out work like that will, and
but they're going to do that no matter what.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think too. People will still buy the albums for the ones that they expect to hear that from.
Well, yeah, like Pink Floyd, for example. Like, which they did just release something, which I haven't heard yet. But, like, their albums, I mean, you can listen to one song at a time.
Yeah,
but, like their albums are just, like, insane if you listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's basically just one long song that kind of segues into each other. But, like, they're not doing it for album sales, and they're not doing it for Spotify. Like, They're doing it, I think, because that's what they do.
Yeah, but would they be doing it if it didn't afford them a living? Probably not. Probably not. It's hard to keep a band. It's very hard to keep a band together when you do make a lot of money. I'm gonna go say it's even harder when this person has to go to work in the morning. That person is having problems with his kids and wife, and this person has to get up and deliver the mail.
But the way they started,
yeah, they all start like that. But they all start like that because that's how you start, and then they're like,
yeah, but they could have easily sold out, kind of, quote unquote, and done things that they knew could get them more money in certain. Because they're not that mainstream. I know
but they're mainstream enough where they're filthy rich, all of them.
Yes, of course. But that's because they're freaking amazing.
So that's why they didn't change.
Yeah, but like Taylor Swift, supposedly, if you liked country music, was amazing. Like I don't, so I don't agree with that statement. But like, she changed because she was also
more 16 and probably very impressionable. And
yes, fine.
You know,
maybe not the best. Okay,
and also probably growing as a person too. So she could be like, yeah, I loved country music. That's what I started with, but I like doing this too. Like, yeah. I don't think you have to be pigeonholed into one particular thing.
Fine. That wasn't the best example. Take Maroon 5, okay? So, I loved Maroon 5 in college, like many years ago. They were awesome. Like, they had an awesome album. It was very, like, unique and different and not like what other people were doing at the time. So good. And then they started becoming famous and people started liking them, and all of their music turned into like radio hits that you just hear randomly. And I mean, I still think their previous music was amazing. Their stuff now, sometimes I like it, but like they changed due to like demand. They're not doing it just because their craft was amazing. Whereas Pink Floyd, yeah, they were doing well and they were popular. And they're still popular because they're still doing it. But, like, Maroon 5 was really popular when they were doing their good, unique shit. And they changed just because they wanted more money, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, I'm sure Pink Floyd could have gotten much bigger. Not that they're not big, they're huge. But, like, mainstream.
Not that great of an example. But he was talking about someone else that are iconic.
Yes, they're iconic, but they're not, like... I don't think they're the top-selling albums of all times. Maybe.
And there's a good chance that Dark Side of the Moon is, and The Wall's probably up there too.
Is it though, or is it just in a certain like section of the market? Whereas like
for like top-selling like of rock albums of all time, and not counting with the rest
I feel like
music,
it's just not as
at a time where rock albums sold more than all other genres of music anyway.
Yes, but like I don't know. I feel like for example, they just put out another album. They didn't make it. Radio ready.
Yeah, because that's just like, I mean, for them it's like, they're known for one thing.
To what they do.
And yeah, and it's been working for them. And they, and I guess, yeah, obviously they like it, I was going to say. So like, we'll just stick with it. This is what we do. This is what we want to do. We're under no control from anyone else also. Yeah. Like, who knows what happened after Maroon 5 was signed with whatever label.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
There's a lot of outside influences that happen on the hot new band, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's true.
After they see that you can sell some units.
I think I'm just a little bitter about that.
I was going to say, you sound...
I'm like really upset about it. Not, I mean,
like
whatever.
Personally hurt you.
Well...
I mean, I get it because
they were so good. Like, it was refreshing. It was like, everyone was doing like boy band, Britney Spears-y stuff, which, by the way, is phenomenal and I love it.
I could say I could feel the same way about like Joe Budden when he first came out. Mm-hmm. You know, his mixtape stuff was awesome. Like, he was known for like doing real personal shit too, and he was dope. And then like when his first Def Jam album came out, like the singles that came out were very more radio oriented. And I was gonna say, you know what, it happens a lot in hip hop actually, where someone
I believe
more underground like and known for something, now when they're kind of getting a buzz and a label grabs them, they try to change it. You know, and put them on like, and they'll put them on. I mean, on pop records and stuff. They'll have a verse on a Christina Aguilera record or something like that.
Like a Pitbull thing.
Like, yeah, and so. I get it, and it's a balancing act, you know, of staying true to what you want to do, but also becoming known enough where you can make the living you want to make off of your art.
Right, and I guess making the labels happy.
And that's what
I get it,
and that's it too, because a lot of people get shelved for not, you know.
I guess that could.
Sometimes they don't understand. I think J. Cole had that problem too, where it's like he was getting a lot of like love and stuff out there, but you know, and he's talked about it even in songs about like not having that hit single. and that really hurt him and like prevented his album from coming out and stuff. You know, even though he had a pretty solid fan base that were probably gonna buy that album anyway.
Right, but it wasn't like one chart topper kind of hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess it might just be the music industry. I mean, I'm not like blaming anyone.
What's a little better about it now? I mean, we talk about it a lot, and it's just basically a double-edged sword where technology's gotten it to the point where you can kind of bypass that middleman.
Like
you don't really need the label. Kind of. You know, you can put out high-quality stuff by yourself, fairly inexpensive,
right?
And it's very doable.
But you're not getting that advance.
You're not getting they aren't really giving advances like that anyway. The industry's totally changed where you almost have to have built your own following anyway before a label really
I guess it's like more like a YouTube age where
up.
People are like Bieber and people love them before they even...
So, but at least it makes it easier where you can get your music out and get noticed. Also, it does obviously flood the market too. You have a lot of shit that you got to wade through.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like the old saying, the cream does rise to the top. And if something's good, it eventually will get out there and spread. Yeah. You know? It'll be shared enough, this and that. And there are artists that can make their living. It's not, are they millionaires? No. But are they happy living enough, a pretty comfortable and doing what they want to do on their terms? And to that, I mean, could you really even ask for anything more? That has to be awesome. That has to be perfect. Like, there are plenty of millionaires that are miserable people.
Oh my God, so many. What are some examples of those people? Like, can you...
Miserable millionaires? I don't
know. No. The people, like, that are just doing their thing and, like, not millionaires.
Immortal Technique.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time, underground rapper and stuff. Very, like Dead Prez type, like, activist type of rapper. And he's just, been doing his own thing, putting out his own stuff. I mean, even comedians have done it. Louis C.K. put out one of his specials for $5 on his website.
Really?
Yeah. And... I sold a whole bunch and probably made more than going through whatever kind of production company or whatever he might have had to.
Okay.
Yeah, I like him. I enjoy his stuff.
He's really funny.
So the technology just makes different avenues possible. But like I said, there's also the negatives that we've talked about it too.
Right.
Yeah,
I guess.
People now kind of expect free shit.
Well, yeah. Well, because that's what we're so accustomed to getting.
So, like, those up-and-coming artists have no problem giving away the free shit because...
It's the way to get their name out.
Noticed. But now it's like, how do you charge them for something? Yeah. It's hard to pull back. Once people are used to a certain thing, it's hard to, like, go back on that and be like, all right, well, now we're going to do it this way.
Right.
You're changing the model.
I guess you have to do it kind of like limited edition kind of thing.
I think Radiohead
did
something where they put out an album.
Pay what you want or something?
Yeah. And I've heard two different things. I've heard one report that it went terrible. And then I heard one where, like, they made more than they thought they would, or something like that, than if they did it traditional.
But they got a lot of press from that.
They did.
So they probably actually got more sales than they may have. But also, Radiohead is really popular anyway.
Well, yeah, that's why it could work for a band like that.
Like, they don't necessarily need it.
And there's a good chance that it might have led to more people going to shows and stuff like that.
Because they got music that they might not have heard before.
Or, like, with me, if I get an album, like, for free or something like that, in that way, like, I would then, like, all right, well, you know what, the $15 we're going to spend on the album, now I'll buy a shirt or something. And maybe their profit margin is bigger on the merchandise, or whatever the licensing is, or whatever the case may be.
Whatever, yeah.
Or I might actually go to the show or something like that, because you literally now have extra income, basically, disposable money to
that's true.
go do something else with. So if I distinctly remember being like, oh, I'm going to buy Joe Budden's album no matter what. I don't care how much bullshit is on it, because his mixtape stuff is so good. And he's like, he probably didn't see any money off of that shit. Right. I was a huge fan of him.
True.
So I was like, I'm going to go buy this Joe Budden album. I don't care if it gets the worst reviews ever.
Right, just because
like that, I know he'll get that. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be good for him. That's going to go into his pocket somehow.
Okay.
Like
a thank you.
Yeah, like, thanks for putting out this shit. Even if this is bullshit.
Right, thanks for the rest.
Keep putting out this other crap then.
Right, just do what you gotta do.
Because I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting concept. I guess it's just changes with the technology.
And it's always with creative stuff in art. Anything artistic or creative. Like, usually the artist gets the raw end of the deal because they're always good at art and shitty at business. And they're shitty at business because they're so good at art. It takes all their time. They're not...
Yeah, but I don't know if they're really getting the raw end of the deal.
You have to go back and read up on some of the Motown guys.
No. I don't mean like back in the day. I mean
but
like
all up. There are stories from every single generation.
Like currently though?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Without
a doubt. I am.
But you think that Taylor Swift getting her crappy
not Taylor Swift.
checks.
Not the Taylor Swifts of the world.
Yeah, but those are the people that are complaining.
But she's not complaining that no, we're talking about different issues now. I'm talking about people that got raw deals and that are put out music that was either popular for however long and are broke. And you're talking about the biggest star in the country.
Yeah, I guess. Well.
She's not going to go broke anytime soon. That I don't believe.
No.
But there are a lot of other...
But that's also bad money management.
Well, that plays into it, but it's also, if you get, like... And it's happened with a bunch of rappers and this and that. Anytime you're in a position where you have no money and a label presents you with some type of deal, what are you going to be like? Nah, we'll wait for the next one. You know what I'm saying? When you don't know how you're paying your rent or getting diapers or something the next week or whatever it is.
Oh, so you just mean getting less than they could have gotten somewhere else.
That's what gets them into these shitty deals. You know? So where it might be like, you know, you have to pay back whatever it is, X amount if there was some type of advance involved, or it's a low advance, or you signed for fucking 6 albums at a shitty percentage and everything, and they get X amount, you know?
So, like, no matter how awesome
and you get trapped in. There have definitely been a whole bunch of stories of artists that got trapped into shitty deals where they couldn't go anywhere else, put out music.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. All right, fair enough. That is, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it happens, unfortunately, way more often than you'd like to
I'm sure it does. I mean, people like to take advantage of other people.
Yeah, because if you think about it, the other people, like a lot of the other people that are involved in it, what do they really bring to the table?
What do you mean, like?
Like any of the managers, even like A&Rs, anybody else involved in the deal, right?
Right.
That's not physically pressing up the product and putting it out.
Right.
What are they bringing to the table?
Well, nothing.
You know, exactly.
Money.
Sometimes not even that, like, because it's the label money. So if you're just a manager or working for the label, it's not like even really it's not your money. It's like they could meet somebody else at the label that could get them the same hookup. So it's like they almost have no value to it. Where it's like, well, we got to structure this somehow where we get a shit ton of money, not just for that dude, whoever's like, you know, I'm using manager, but that's probably not the right term, and the label too. They're not the label. They're not creating content.
Right.
So they're selling
the
other people's
just
content.
The money.
They're just selling other people's packaging and putting out and distributing other people's content.
Right. So they need to make money on that, though.
Yeah, but should they be making it should be 80-20 in their favor?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So.
Oh, okay.
And that's the thing. When a lot of these really shitty fucking deals, it's like that equivalent.
Right. Okay. So they're just getting completely screwed.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens, though, when there are people with a lot of money and people with not a lot of money, but the skills, which is probably parallel in a lot of things in life.
Most stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but, I mean, I guess there's nothing you can really do about it other than, like...
Well, that's why people just started to put out their own shit. And start, like, their own mini labels and stuff, or go independent labels.
But that's fine.
You know? And again,
but is there something bad about that? Like, I feel like that's probably a better thing to do.
Well, again, like when so if you're an artist and you're creating music, let's say, and that's what you're really good at, and you worked your whole life towards whatever it is, how good are you at developing a marketing plan, or you know, so
you might not be able to get yourself out there. How good are you at getting
your stuff out there so you can keep just creating content and make your living off that?
Well, but I guess if you are creating your own label and you're doing fairly well at it, and at that point you hire people to do that stuff for you.
Yeah, if you can get to that. That's the thing.
I guess
it's like, how do you get to that level? You know? So that's where these labels have that built in, basically.
Right.
And then they use that to their advantage of being like, all right, we'll take 80%. Or whatever it is.
It's like kind of like buying a franchise, but you're doing all the work.
You're doing everything, yeah.
And you're making like nothing.
And paying them a whole bunch of fees for however long.
Right.
To hopefully you get your shit really going.
Yeah, I guess. Never really thought about it that way.
Yeah, no, a lot of people don't. You know, because it's like anything else. If it's not something that you're entrenched in, you're not going to know about that kind of like the dirty side of it.
Right.
I mean, it goes same thing for like for like car salesmen or whatever it is. You know, there's always something. Working in a restaurant, there's always some type of side where it's like, can't believe that happens. You know.
Yeah.
And it's usually just business as usual. And you're like, holy shit! Wait, that happens a lot to like everybody,
every day?
all the time. What the fuck? How does this work for so long? Like almost everything is like that in some way.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Actually.
Yeah.
Are there even still car salesmen?
Yeah, and there are.
I feel like that must be like a dying profession. There's not much selling you have to do. I feel like a lot of people know what they want.
I think it's more relevant. Yeah, they definitely don't because there's so many options and nobody really knows, and it's not something you do often for the most part. Your average person doesn't do it often, so it's not like you have real practice in it.
I guess.
And everything changes whenever you go to do it again. Almost everything has changed.
Yeah, I guess it's true. Well, it depends because there are a lot of people at least, and that's like every 3 years or so.
Yeah, but even then, I feel like most of those people, they kind of just stay with what they have unless something changes in their life where they need something different.
Or if they don't like the car.
Yeah.
Because, you could have a car that you love and then they completely redesign it and you're like, oh, I hate this.
But if everything stays the same, everything else staying the same and you hate the new Civic, so what are you going to do? Maybe you're going to go to a Corolla then? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're going to go to whatever same class the Kia has or something. Or the Hyundai or something. Like, you're going to probably...
So you're sticking in the same class.
Yeah. So you're making parallel moves for the most part.
Yeah, but to a completely different brand.
Yeah, but it's still the same deal as like... All right, I was leasing for $125, $179. So I need $179. What can I get for $179 lease? All right, so these are my options. You're going to go with the one that looks prettier then, or whatever the case is.
I guess you do have to be a good salesperson because you still have the Kia option, you have the Toyota option.
You do, and they're like, and that is how they make their money. Like, it's not like, it's almost like being a server at a restaurant, you know? Your hourly pay is fucking bullshit. The meat and potatoes of your pay is going to be on commissions of selling a car.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And for selling it for as high as you can, you know?
Yeah.
You could sell them all at almost cost, but your fucking check it, then isn't going to be shit.
But why do people do that?
Try to make it up in volume.
Oh, if you can just sell at cost, but you sell like 100 or something.
Wow. Yeah. Obviously, it still have to be more than cost because it has to be
No, I know, but slightly above.
Yeah. But then you're running around doing so much work.
Well, that's the thing.
If you just put in maybe half that work and sell 1 or 2 cars, you can make the same, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's true. I always wonder, though, how much like a car salesman can get.
I think they can make a bunch, but it just sucks because I don't understand, and it's funny we talk about like the flip side to certain industries. Like, how can there possibly be, like, where do all the fucking other cars go? They can't sell every fucking 2014 in 2014. What happens to those fucking cars? And 2015s come in no matter what. Right?
They sell them. They have those, like, blowout deals.
Yeah, they don't sell them all. They
ship them overseas, maybe?
Do you know how many car dealerships there are? Like, at some point, there's going to be more cars than people. There probably already is. How do they keep selling new cars and making so many cars?
Think about it. Do they have that many cars? Like, maybe they only make a certain amount, like a lower amount than they think they're going to sell.
I would like to know what that number is.
What do you mean?
Like, how will they decide how many cars they're going to make in a calendar year?
Well, because they know how many they've sold the previous year. I mean, they do forecasting and things, I would imagine. So then they probably only have, they have a few extra here or there, and then they have a sale. They probably sell them. Or, like, if you go...
But what about in down years? Like, obviously, during the recession.
Well, that's when they have problems.
Thousands of fucking
Think
cars.
about the bailouts, though.
Yeah,
they bailed out car companies.
Yeah, but Pontiac went under.
But Pontiac was like crap.
I don't know, yeah, but maybe. Aztec was good.
Was it though? Maybe they went under because they actually let that happen.
That was actually, I think, I remember seeing a whole, like, parking lot full of Aztecs, like, locally too. When a few years after, when that shit just bombed out here. Like, in some other parts of the country, like, it was a pretty popular car. 'Cause like I said, it was capable
No, I get like it had a lot of
it was just
features,
ugly as shit.
But...
So like when you're in a market like here,
yeah, no,
that's
just
not
gonna
gonna fly.
And they probably should have recognized that.
I don't know how they fucking tested that. Yeah,
I don't know how. You would think
clue.
they do market research or something and say like, "Hey, what do you think this looks like?" Crap, absolute crap. This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Like something I never fucking drive.
Yeah. Obviously, their market research wasn't going too well. Maybe they all got fired after that. How many years of that car do you think they made? Just one?
I don't know. Usually we do this. I have my laptop so we can fact check this shit.
Oh.
But
I have my phone.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while though.
This is true. My phone is like forever old.
Yeah. So, whatever. We'll figure it out someday. But that's the thing. I said that like fucking 3 months from now I'm gonna fucking look that up.
We'll get back to you on that one. How many years did the...
But to know how many they make all the time and then where every year and then where those extra cars go.
But they probably sell them the next year because you can go into a car dealership and buy last year's model.
I know.
For less. They just take a hit on it, I guess.
That's the thing too. Is like how much. At what point do they just like, yo, we just got to ship this somewhere?
Maybe they sell it as certified pre-owned. Maybe they use them as loaner cars.
They do that because I've gotten a few actually. The last time I was at Toyota, so I got a brand new fucking Highlander.
Yeah, there you go.
And they will sell those as pre-owned and stuff afterwards. There are little like, tricks for that. But I was say that they're still like, for the most part, if you set foot on a lot, they're fucking trying to sell you something,
Well,
I went because I knew it was bullshit, but I've been getting letters every fucking week from everybody saying, hey, we noticed you have a fucking Scion XB and we are looking for these cars. We're authorized to buy back a whole bunch of them.
Why are they looking for these cars? Oh, they're not.
They just want to get you into a new one. So if they can, that's the plot. That's the ploy there. So it's like because they just want to get you to the dealership.
Wait, excuse me, I'm sorry. 4 years. There were 4 years of Aztec. Pretty
decent run.
Right?
For.
But who was fired for that one?
Well, everyone now.
What?
Because that might have been
the Buick Rendezvous was its rebadged variant.
Rendezvous was all right.
The Rendezvous was not as ugly.
Yeah, not at all.
I guess Buick was like, yeah, no, we're going to need to change this.
Wait, so Buick's still in business?
Yeah. And they're actually, they kind of revamped
themselves. So did they own Pontiac or did Pontiac own them?
Who owns both of them? Was it GM?
I'm pretty sure it's GM.
So it was probably just all under the same thing.
Yeah.
And Buick, I guess, was like their...
And they did definitely... I think did a good job of rebranding themselves, too.
Yeah, they're more like luxury
Like, I still don't think I'd ever buy one, but they...
There was one that I saw that was really, really nice.
Because like, this is my view on that, too. All these other car dealerships that, what are you doing? What are you saying? Talk.
I need directions to my house.
Why can't...
Because I don't know my directions.
So why do I have to pause for that?
Because I don't want everyone to know where I live.
Why can't you just text it or screenshot the fucking thing of, or tell them to open a map? Who are you sending it to?
Tom, he's in a taxi.
The taxi doesn't know where to go? They don't have a GPS?
I don't know.
Shouldn't you just give him the address and he can get there?
He knows my address.
So then why can't he find the house?
I don't know.
Oh my god. So just text it. You don't have to say it out loud.
I don't know though. All right, here you go.
Oh, I have to put how to get to your house?
Well, that's what I was asking you.
Holy shit, where is he?
Old Country Road. See, we're gonna have to edit this out anyway.
We're gonna pause.
Remember that time?
Stop. All right. It's slight pause. We'll be back before you know it because you actually won't know it as soon as we come back.
Just pause.
You're fucking press the wrong thing. We lose this whole thing. I'll beat you. All right. All right, we're back, and I have no idea where the fuck we left off.
Fighting.
We weren't fighting. We were
Disagreeing.
talking about cars, and you were trying to give directions to your house, and you didn't want the whole world to know.
Well.
And you couldn't text them because you haven't lived here for so long. You have no idea how to get to your house.
Exactly.
Sad.
It is sad. A little bit.
Very sad.
Well.
You know what? I can understand it a little.
You didn't live here for a while.
Yeah, but I could always find my way back.
I mean, I could find my way back if I were, like, in the car driving.
Yeah,
or in the car, but, like, coming at it from, like, not being there, it's a little more difficult.
Guess. I could tell you, I mean, I couldn't have gave directions back to here either
and
by
I
street
live
name.
Across the street from you.
Yeah, but by street name, I couldn't have. I could have been like, hey, take the third left and then
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
I probably could have done that too.
You know, at the third light, go down, you know, second stop sign, whatever. Like, I would have figured out a way to get back here. But I wouldn't have been able to, like, do it by street names to where someone driving a taxi would figure it out, maybe.
Or, like, if someone said to you, okay, I'm on such and such street, you'd be like,
I'd be like,
nope,
what?
No idea what that is.
I'd be like, that's great.
Like, give me, like, by a church, by Taco Hut, something.
Taco Hut.
Yeah, I kind of want to go to Taco Hut.
Oh, stop. We don't...
Not right now. Just, like, at some point.
I guess.
Just to, like, see if it still tastes as good.
What do they have? All right, so let's
Did you know they do breakfast?
Yeah, of course I knew they did breakfast.
Really? It's disgusting.
Well,
the thought of that.
Yeah. It's talking about rebranding yourself. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Buick and then rebranding.
Oh, yeah.
And so what I was going to say to that was...
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, it all comes around eventually. When car companies that aren't known for like a certain class of car break into that market,
right,
but are still on the same car company, like Kia has done it.
Yeah,
Hyundai
Kia has a really nice one.
They do, and it is what it is. Supposed to be a pretty good car, good reviews. They're making quality stuff, but the problem is when they get into the 30, 40 and higher $1,000 range of vehicles, it's like, yeah, it's pretty nice, but do you want to spend that much money and still be driving a Kia? Because it's still a Kia when you can spend that same amount of money and have a BMW or an Audi.
But I guess it depends on the type of person that you are. Do you care about labels or do you care about the actual thing? I
agree. I can totally agree with that. To me, those others just look better anyway as well.
Right, that's a personal preference.
Yeah, without a doubt. But
there's some Hyundai ones that are really nice, like that I might go for over certain other ones.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it.
Like other luxury brands, I'm saying.
And that's what it is with cars, though, because it's all just personal preference.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why there are so many different kinds.
Yeah, and different. It's definitely like my uncle just went through this, and he's an older gentleman. He's in his 50s or just.
I feel like when you call someone an older gentleman, they're like elderly.
In like English.
Yeah. An older gentleman.
So, the way he does it, like he buys a car and he has it for 10 years. At least,
that's like my mom.
So he had he's always had Acuras as far as I know him anyway, and he was like, you know what, time to step it up a notch. I'm gonna get something else. I'm gonna enjoy this or whatever. But he literally looked at everything, and we did look at some Kias and stuff like that when I was out there with him, 'cause he lives in Chicago, so. And I said that. I was like, I know, you've been married for a long time now to my aunt, and that's going well, so that's cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy about that. And, you're in a different space in life. But do you want to spend $50,000 and be driving a Kia? Like, it's just that I guess like curb appeal of when you pull up somewhere or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to pull up in a Kia or an Audi or a Benz or a BMW or whatever it is?
But it depends on who you are.
And I totally agree. I was just giving my angle on it, right? It's like, obviously, if you're like a single dude in his 20s or 30s, you might might not pick the Kia. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course.
So I get it. But also, he's like the CEO of his own company and stuff, this and that. And it's definitely just an image thing, but you think of him like, all right, why wouldn't you just drive the Audi then or something like that, Mm-hmm. It seems like that's what it is if it's not a Prius. It's like if you're doing well and you're not in a luxury car, then you're in a Prius. Yeah. Because you're trying to make a statement or something. Right. So,
or a Tesla. Which actually ticks Tesla both boxes.
Yeah. So then he ended up going, surprisingly, with the Jaguar.
Really?
And yeah. And it was actually and one of the really nice ones too. They've been making some ones that aren't nice. I've been like thinking are pretty ugly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did well. He picked a good one.
Yeah. I feel like Jaguars usually just look like fancy Fords, which is what they are.
I mean, I feel like maybe there were some of them that did. Again, the one that he ended up with, I don't remember the model, but
yeah, I wouldn't know either.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was
a
good one. Yeah. So he was like, even though being at the stage of life that he is, he was like, yeah, fuck that Kia.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, yeah, you're right. Time for me to enjoy my car every day.
Yeah. I don't know though. I think, because what was it? I think it was one of the Hyundai like Genesis ones that was rated like higher than I think BMW, but like a bunch of it. It was like number 3 luxury car behind. I don't remember what the other ones were.
Well, there's also like the Corvette, especially the new one, had like it's consistently getting write-ups that like it's. I don't know if it's faster, but it's right up there. It's performance-wise, it's right up there with like Ferrari and Lamborghini, and even outperforms it in some categories.
Corvette.
Yeah, it's like I think handling or something like that. Whichever specific category it actually was outperforming cars that are literally almost $250,000 more, like $200,000 more, $150,000 more.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they really, like again, this new one they really stepped up. It actually looks really fucking.
Does it look nice?
Really aggressive. It's an awesome look. They've always kind of been close to the Ferrari look, and it still is.
I guess so.
But now you can actually mistake it. You usually like you saw a Corvette, you'd be like, oh, that kind of looks like a Ferrari. Now the fucking thing drives by, you're like, yo, did I just see a Ferrari? You're like, oh shit, that was a Corvette. Yeah.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't really like a lot of cars recently. I like the Tesla. I really like the Tesla.
I'm all about functionality now.
Yeah.
Does it do what I need it to do? Cool. I don't. I'm done where it's like
past that.
Doesn't need to look. It needs to look somewhat. Can't not that it needs to look cool.
But your car kind of is weird looking.
No, I like it though. It has like kind of a fresh.
Okay.
You know, it's stylish look to it.
Okay.
But more importantly, obviously, it gets done what I need it to do. Yeah. You know.
It's more functional.
And that's why when I'm looking now, when we were talking about, you know, fucking salespeople and just how they're just on you like that.
Yeah.
And I hate dealing with that shit. When wow.
Even
before I got
the Corvette is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go to images and
it's gorgeous.
Look through some of them.
Z60?
Yeah.
Z06, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, continue. Showroom.
So they were like, hey, we'll buy back. Well, when I first got the car that I have now, a friend of mine was like, oh, my cousin works at a dealership. You know, go there. He'll take care of you and this and that.
Right.
So to me, that means, obviously, I know they can only do so much on price, you know?
Right. There's only so much.
Like, I know how that works. So I'm not expecting some crazy hookup. But what I did expect was to not be fucking treated like just like somebody walking in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. And I was like, really? If I wanted to fucking deal with a salesman, I would have went fucking anywhere.
Anywhere.
There's no reason for me to come here. So I was like, peace, dude, I'm out.
And he knew that you were like his cousin's friend or whatever.
Yeah. I was just like, but you know what though?
Stupid move though on his part.
Yeah, without a doubt. Because I ended up getting. This was at a Toyota dealership. I ended up getting a Toyota from a Nissan dealership.
Wait, really?
Go figure. Scion is made by Toyota.
Oh! This is when you bought your.
This is when I bought this one.
I thought because you were looking for a new car.
Well, yeah, currently as well.
Oh, okay, that's why.
And again,
confused.
So like, I went to Toyota and shit after they did like some work or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, they got another thing in the mail." But since it was from the Toyota I was just at, I was like, you know what? Let me go there, see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it was exactly what I knew they were talking about. They're gonna give me shit for my car.
Really?
Yeah. Like way under.
I guess that's how they work.
That's what exactly. And so I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm not gonna deal with that.
Yeah.
Fuck you
thanks,
guys.
but no thanks.
And when I'm telling them what I was looking for, which is nothing that they have there.
What are you looking for?
Well, something that obviously had to fit a whole bunch of DJ equipment in. So I'm looking for an SUV, but a smaller one, more crossover.
Oh.
All-wheel drive, and really the only ones that they have in that class is the RAV4. Yeah. You know, the Venza is too big. The Highlander's way too big. A 4Runner is too big and expensive.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So all they really have is the RAV4, and I'm like, I'm not a RAV4 person. And really,
no, I can't really picture you in a RAV4.
I kind of would have considered another Scion, another XB, but I really wanted something with all-wheel drive. That was one of the points. No.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just a car. It's on a car frame.
Yeah, it's not really an SUV.
Yeah, at all.
Why do you want all-wheel drive? Just for snow?
Yeah. You know, I live in New York, you know. And also, I do a lot of gigs that are not right in my general vicinity, you know. I do some upstate, this and that. So I'm figuring there's definitely going to be the time where it might be snowing here, but in Westchester it's fine, and I might have to get to a gig, you know.
Oh, all right, yeah.
So I have to take that into account.
What about Honda?
I don't like the CRV. I kind of like the CRV.
I actually hate the CRV.
I kind of like it.
Hyundai?
But what it is, no, I hate the Santa Fe.
Really?
Yeah.
Tucson?
They're all like all of those. The Santa Fe, the CRV, the RAV4. They're all soccer mom cars.
Yeah, I guess it's true. All those little SUVs.
Yeah, they just all are.
But they're nice crossovers. Who does a nice crossover?
You know which one I've liked?
Mazda?
Yes, the CX-5.
I knew you would because you and we get the Mazda thing.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I actually had a throwaway podcast, one of the solo ones I did in the car on the way home, was like, somehow I got into talking about Mazdas. I'm like, I don't know how, but I'm a fucking Mazda fan.
You are.
I don't know how the fuck it happened.
I am too.
And I don't know how it happens to anyone. I guess it's one of those, like, after you have one, you get it.
They're awesome. They drive really well. They're fun cars.
Yeah.
And honestly, they always have really nice lines. Like they have they never are too boxy. They're never like you know what? They're kind of like a sporty sedan or a sporty SUV. Like
they always make sporty cars. Like they're
never
in a sporty
soccer
lane.
mom.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's what I mean. I had the Protege 5, which was like
that was kind of weird.
But but if you looked at it, like it's just the lines of it, shapes, everything was very pretty. Like it was just a good looking car. For being a hatchback. Yeah, for being that type of car, like it looked really good. And
yeah, I guess it's true. They make things look cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, the CX-5.
I love the
cargo
CX-5.
Space is a little lower than I'd like it to be.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm not what's another funny thing about that? The XB actually has more cargo space than a lot of the small crossovers.
Really?
It has like 70 cubic feet, and most of them are in the 64 to 67 range.
Really?
And the CX-5 is 65. So losing 5 cubic feet of storage space. Yeah, but you
have the back seat.
It's pretty big, but it's still again, that's why they measure it that way. You know, it's the usable space that you have.
all of it.
Yeah, that's all of it. Yeah,
okay.
There's the total seats down and stuff.
Wow.
So that's a little bit of a problem, and because it's not until you get to the bigger SUVs where it's way more.
Right.
Like I think like the 2-door Explorer that my uncle had had the same amount that my XB has of cargo space. Yeah. So it's not until you get to like the Flex, the Highlander and stuff where you'll get way more. Ford Flex is nice. Yeah. It's kind of up there in the price though.
Is that?
And also, like, as much as I do want
Fusion.
No,
is that
it's
also
different.
an SUV?
No, the Fusion is a
The Flex, is that the one that Derek Jeter used to do?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's a nice looking one. Even the Edge, the Ford Edge is
oh,
good
no,
too.
that's the one I'm thinking, the Edge.
But both of them. But both of them are still kind of up there in price, and they're not...
Really?
The Flex, definitely, yeah.
No,
that's like a $40,000 car.
Is it?
Yeah. The Edge gets up there. Especially when you start, like, you know, you can get a base model, which will be cheaper, but it's not going to be all-wheel drive, and, you know...
Do they still do the Kia Sorento? I know
I'm pretty sure
you have issues with Kia, but I really like that car.
Again, whatever.
So Mazda CX-5.
So that's the one I'm really leaning towards.
I mean, I that's the car that I want.
And like even gas mileage wise and stuff, like I'll get less than the XB, but it's gonna be close. Like
but it's a bigger car.
On good tanks, I'm gonna get close to what I was getting though. You know?
And gas prices are going down
which is good.
Bad reasons, but
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. No, the CX-5 is I've been saying for years that I like that car.
It's only been out since 2013.
No.
Yeah. Trust me, I looked it up.
they had a CX-7 and a CX-9.
Yeah.
Okay, but the CX-7 is now the CX-5, no?
No. This is just a bigger. It's like a full size SUV, and the CX-9 is more like a van.
Yeah, but the CX-9 used to be a full-size SUV.
I don't know if that's true at all.
It looked like it. And
yeah,
then they
but
made
it was more vanny.
Yes, but they made it look more vanny recently. Sorry.
I guess, but I think it was still classified as a van when it first came out.
I just thought it was like their luxury SUV.
I mean, I could be wrong. Because I wasn't really looking into those, but...
I just look for fun sometimes.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
No, I see what you're saying.
So, but everything, gas mileage-wise, space, looks, even price-wise and stuff, I think that's the one I'm going to end up going with when I sell my car.
I support your decision.
Yeah, thanks. I don't even know what my second choice was. Oh, actually, the Subaru Outback. Again, more of...
Is that a car or an SUV?
You know what? It's a real middle, because it's basically a car, but, it rides so high.
Does it?
It doesn't ride as high as an SUV, but it rides higher than a car. It's weird. It's like a 4-inch clearance or something they said, or whatever it was. Maybe it's 4 inches more than a car or something. Whatever it was. And they have incredible storage, too. It's like 70 cubic feet also.
Really?
Yeah.
And they have
it's all-wheel drive. Yeah.
Subarus are supposed to be really good cars,
but
I think.
No, yeah.
But they're not cheap, are they?
I mean, no, but yes. Like, I could find what I was looking for in the price range I was looking for, you know?
Are you going new or used?
Used. Yeah.
Okay.
Because my whole goal in this is actually will be relevant to some people, since we just talked about the car I want for the last 20 minutes. Like anyone gives a shit. But
they might be interested in your thought process.
Well, all right, I can agree with that, because I do really, when it's a decision like this, I'm going into it with like, all right, I need to know every single thing about it and to make the best decision on it for what I need it for and what I'd like to get out of it. So, that being said, now he totally fucked me, actually. I don't know what the hell I was going to say.
Nope.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, Subaru?
That's good. That's good.
Outback? Cubic feet. All-wheel drive.
It's like you're just saying key words of the last 3 sentences I said. That's it.
I thought maybe it would trigger something. I guess it didn't work.
Because it was the last 3 sentences before the main sentence that I was switching over to.
Oh.
So instead of like the car that... Something about... Shit. Oh, okay. I got it.
See?
I got this. No, you were no help. But I figured it out.
I think I was.
I want to sell my car because when I got it...
There you go.
When I got it, my credit sucked balls. And I know a lot of people go through that shit. Everybody, I mean... Fuck, man.
Not everybody.
A lot of people, yeah. A lot of people have fucked up credit in some way or made bad decisions at some point. So, like, that's what it is. You know why? Because it's weird. When you're in, like, school and you even have home ec classes, you don't learn anything about, like, every day, like, what you're going to be doing in everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Like, how life actually works. Like, cool. True. I remember learning how to fucking sew a pillow.
Me too.
And how to bake something, which... I just have my girlfriend for now. So that's her. She loves baking.
That's really all she's good for, isn't it?
No, that's not all she's good for, but that's what she's really good at and what she likes doing. So
she's a happy homemaker.
It works out for me.
I like her.
Yeah, me too. So anyway, I had a real shitty loan. I was actually surprised when I went to my cousin's friend. That's what I didn't think I was even gonna be able to get a car, because he was like, "Oh, I got this new blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've been through some shit. I don't know if I'll be able to get this right now." And he ran my shit, and he was like, "Yeah, you're approved for it." And he said up to $20,000 or $22,000 or whatever it was. And I was like, "Really?"
Like, you just give this to anyone, don't you?
Huh? I just like, huh? You don't say. I was like, well, obviously, if I got approved there for a new car, I can get approved pretty much anywhere.
Right.
And since you're being a dick, peace out.
Yeah. Thanks for the information.
Yep. And I was like, no. I was like, hey, knowledge is power. Now that I know this. Because at the time, when I first moved back to New York, I couldn't even get a fucking cell phone in my name, you know? Well, I could get it, but they wanted me to put like $500 down.
What?
It was something ridiculous.
For a cell phone?
Yeah. And I was like, holy shit.
Those were some bad times.
Yeah, it was shitty. So now, though, I'm good, yo. I just got approved for a mattress, no problem, 0% financing.
I just got approved for a mattress.
Yo,
you've made it when you get approved for a mattress.
Hold on, that mattress, minus my car, is almost the most expensive thing I own. And think about all the DJ equipment I have.
Really?
Exactly.
What about your like computers and shit?
The MacBook Pro is close. Like they're neck and neck. It was I splurged on this mattress.
It better be a great mattress. By the way,
it was.
High five on getting your shit together.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I love high fives. One more, that was good.
Yeah, we can plug that website you that never took off for you.
It never took off. It's gone now.
Oh, no resurrection.
We could revamp it. Highfivesarecool.com.
There you go. She owns it, so don't try to steal it. Just nod your head yes.
Yes, okay. I do.
So anyway, so I when I got my car, I was in a pretty shitty loan, and I knew it was shitty, but I really had no choice. So I was like, all right, I'm expecting it. I brought my own lube. Let's just get this over with.
I'll bend over now. We can just call it a day.
So it was, I think I paid $13,000 total. Was the price? It was a 2008 Scion XB, and this was in 2010. I think I bought it. So not bad. It was fairly new, car and stuff. You know, low miles and everything. It was good. 5-speed, nice color, cool, whatever. But the interest was crazy. I was paying $280 a month for 7 years. I did the math. Wow. It was sick. It was like if I pay it off that way, it's gonna be like $20,000 or something. This is ridiculous shit. And I'm like, God damn.
That's crazy.
After 2 years of paying it, I checked to see what my payoff was, and it was like $7,500 still. And I'm like, or at some point it was like $9,000. And I was like, how can that be? It was only $13,000. I'm pretty sure I put $3,000 down. How I only put like an $800 dent in it, paying $280 a month for fucking 2 years.
That's scary.
But I think what it was after taxes and everything was $16, and I put $3 down, so I financed at $13. I think that is what actually happened. So it wasn't. It still wasn't a big of it. Yeah. So now it's down to like 75, and currently. The blue book is about anywhere from like 8 to just under 9, you know?
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, if I could sell this for anywhere close to that, that would be perfect.
Right.
I'll pay this shit the fuck off.
Well, like sell it on your own, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, trade in, they wanted to give me like $5,500. I was like, yeah, thanks. You can blow me.
Yeah.
And even when they said they'll pay the whole thing off, I was like, no, I'm good. I don't want a RAV4. This was in Toyota. I was like, I'm like, that's nice. And I even called them out. I'm like, yeah, I know you say you're going to pay this off, but what part of that is going to be rolled into what fucking payment that you're going to have me on this new car?
Yeah.
And like, because I'm telling you, I'm trying to peep you to some game, you know, don't let them, when you go buy a car, first of all, if you can look up the dealer invoice online, try to find that. That's what the dealer paid for the car. So say the RAV4, they paid $20,000 for it, you know they paid $20,000. So you give them a modest upcharge on that, maybe $20,500, $20,600, whatever, and that's what you go in with. And again, you price it out with all the options you want and everything, and you stick to your guns. That's how I got my Protege 5, and that, you know, I got that at a good price.
I remember the day you brought that up.
Yeah, I invoiced everything. I'm like, listen, this is what I want. This is what I'm paying for it. Let's do it. You know, the guy talked shit for a little bit, went back 1 or 2 times, we're there a half hour,
I hate when they go back, talk to the manager.
And I already know. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's nice. I don't care what you say.
This is what I'm paying.
Yeah, so this is it. Are we doing this or not? Because I got other places to be. I go to another place.
Yeah.
So I tried that with the XB, but I didn't have the purchasing power.
Yeah.
You know, to be like that. And
they know that you don't.
And I knew every single way that they could get me. Right? I know they try to keep you there for a long time, so you'll just agree to anything. I know, you know, they try to sell you on extra stuff. They'll try to not to get you the price that you want because for whatever reason stuff. So like I know all the tricks, and the motherfucker got me with every single one of them.
Did he?
Every single one of them. I was so pissed, yo, because I was actually I went in there just to test drive it and go buy a new one down the road. The place that I was at, they didn't have a 5-speed, and the automatic sucked. I hated the automatic. It just felt like shit.
Yeah. So
I went and tested the 5-speed, and I was like, "Oh, this drives awesome, cool." I was gonna go order a new one, and so because I was getting it for about, I think it was like $16,500, maybe $17,000 for a brand new one. Oh my God. I'm telling this guy that, he's like, "No way," and he's looking online, and I'm like, and I know like in some of the places they even have like alternate websites, so they go. Seriously? They type in Toyota.com, but it brings them to like whatever their own little kind of portal, so they can show you the prices on there. Like, yeah, some fucked up shit. And I can't say that he did that, but I know that is a tactic. So, but he did show me some site where it's like, where are you seeing that I could get it for this for? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just talked to the dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't have to see it anyway. I talked to him.
Yeah.
So why would I buy this used one for $16,000? I'm like, come on, man.
But you did.
Well, whatever the numbers actually were, like maybe it was 15, whatever. I don't know. I remember the exact numbers. So he's like, well, and I know you want to negotiate on price of the car, not on payments per month.
What do you mean?
Because they'd be like, oh, well, how much are you trying to pay a month?
Oh, they're like...
You know? So that's how they get you to be like, all right, so now when you take it, instead of negotiating the price of the car, say it was 15 and I'm trying to get it for 13, and then, all right, I got it for 13, now a 5-year loan on that would be X amount a month.
Right, they'll like extend your loan.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happened. They were like, well, it can't be more than $300 a month at the time. So they got me to $280, and they would get me down to ridiculous prices, and then when they actually checked my shit, they were like, oh, we can't actually do that. I'm like, well, this is what you said. And I'm like, I told you it wasn't good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You asked me, was it good? I'm like, nope. And you're like, well, we can maybe do this for you. And they're like, no, you can't. So they kept pushing it back. Well, now we can do 7 years. And
7 years?
Yeah, stupid fucking 7 year. And I'm like, I knew it was all bad.
Why did you think that was a good idea?
I didn't.
But you did it anyway.
Because they got me with every tactic. I was there for 5 hours. My plan was to go there, test drive it, order the new one, and then I was going to Memorial Day like barbecue. We never made it to the barbecue. I was at the fucking Toyota all day long. All fucking day.
5 hours.
Yo, it was ridiculous, yo. So they got me every way, and I knew it.
Can I go with you next time you need to buy a car?
Don't worry, that won't happen now. Trust me, I checked my shit's all in order now. I'm good. So that's why, long story short, I'm just trying to flip this car, even though I like it, but
right, just
while I'm still have positive equity in it. That's the key there.
Okay.
You know what? In a year or two, that's probably not going to be the case.
Right.
So,
and then you're at a loss.
Exactly. So while I have some positive equity in it, I'm just going to try to sell that shit. And if I can make some money on it, cool. If not, whatever. I'd like to try to use that as my down payment for the next one, though. You know? So if I can make $2,000 on it, that'd be awesome.
Right.
Sell that shit. Now I'm going to because I also get the letters all the time about just refinancing your loan. Because you get a way better interest rate. And I know just from other purchases I made, I'm going to get a way better interest rate on a new car. Right. Right? So I can, knock all that shit out. Because if I stay this way and pay it off payment by payment, it is. It's going to be like $10,000 or something. On top of the 2 years I've already been paying for it. Exactly. Like I said, it was almost $20,000 or some shit. Yeah, because it was only like $10 a month was going towards the principal for the first however long.
That's so frustrating how that happens.
Yeah, it's nuts. So now I'm like, all right, I actually have positive equity in it. Let me sell this shit and start over, start fresh, and not worry about that. Right. You know? So that's what it is. Funny side note about that 6-hour debacle that we had at Toyota. I was with my girlfriend at the time. It's my current girlfriend, still too. His girlfriend. Yeah. But at the time, I was there with my girlfriend. Maybe that's the better way to put it.
My girlfriend was there is basically what you're trying to say.
Yeah. And they had somebody at the dealership there that was going around with like the candies they sell for charity. And I don't know if it was someone who actually worked there that was doing it for their own stuff or whatever it was. But again, being there for so long, you fucking need something. And I wasn't going to get it because I really don't even fuck with candy like that. But, you know, my girlfriend has a big heart. She's like, yeah, whatever. I need to eat something. What is it going to be? $2, $1, $2 each, whatever, for fucking candy for charity. Okay, cool. So the lady that goes through her spiel or whatever and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, I'll just take 2. I'll take this and that or whatever. Then she goes, it's so funny how she got her too, because, you know, my girlfriend kind of jumped the gun on it. She's like, yeah, I'll just take those 2. And she's already reaching into her bag. So her hand's in her bag. Her wallet's half out of her bag and half in. And so she has it out. It's opening up. And the lady goes, okay, that's $20. They were $10 each.
What were they?
I don't even fucking know. Like Skittles and something else. It was just candy. It was just regular fucking candy.
$20.
And it was so funny because I'm looking at her as she's doing it. And like as she said $20, my girlfriend's just like the look on her face was just like, I can't stop. I can't stop now. And like, so it just came out and was like, here. And I'm like, holy shit. They fucked us every way possible. I even was like, at the very least, when they were going back and forth with them, and he was going to the manager and this and that, I was like, at least I'll get him to at least give a full tank of gas or something, all right? I was like, I'm just gonna ask for that, right? That's all I'm asking for. I'll just try to get that at least.
Can you screw the license plate?
Because I remember even asking, like, it had 2 of they were like the premium wheels, but the centerpiece was missing on 2 of them. I was like, come on, order 2 of those. He's like, well, they're $50 or whatever they were. And I'm like, well, just come on, man. You can get them. Like, just get them, put them on. I'm like trying to get some little extra thing, right?
Right.
Was striking out. So I was just like, well, at least I was getting the fucking fill up the tank maybe or something. And since I was there for so long, another 2 hours or 3 hours after that, I totally forgot to even fucking ask. I fucking totally forgot. And I didn't realize it until I started the car. I went to drive off and was like, I have to go get gas now. What the fuck? I was so pissed.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, they got us every single way. Every fucking way they got me, yo.
I can't believe she paid $20 for candy
Yeah, it
bars.
was so crazy.
Holy shit.
Or maybe it was 10 because it was 5 each, but it was a lot.
Either way.
I know, it was bad.
It's too much.
Yeah, it was bad.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
You guys are just suckers.
Not only did I get fucked, you got fucked too somehow in this. And you got fucked because you were with me for 6 hours in a dealership and we weren't at a barbecue for fucking Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Or Memorial Day
like
weekend.
an angel.
She is.
She really is.
No complaints there. Can't say anything bad.
No. Not that she listens to this.
Yeah,
I
it
know
doesn't
you
matter.
mentioned that.
Yeah, I can talk
time.
mad shit. It wouldn't matter, yeah.
You know one day she will.
Yeah, but is she going to get 2 hours into any of them?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't
I
think so
barely
either.
do. I'm just kidding. No, I do usually get to the end. Takes a few days.
Yeah, it does with me too. With all the the other ones I listen to and stuff, like, you know, whatever. I just pause it when I'm in the car. I unpause it.
Yeah.
If I'm home and cleaning and trying to straighten stuff up or whatever, then I usually put them on as well. Not my own. Use other people's that I listen to.
I just listen to myself.
I hate my voice. I'm amazed that anyone even listens to these.
We're not convinced that anyone does.
Well, no, I am because I can go through the stats and analytics.
Well, I do.
And I can see I see that there are, like I said, a good number of people that pay attention. So I'm happy about that. It keeps me motivated.
I pay attention if no one else does.
It keeps me motivated.
And I'm a big fan of both you and Foxy Jackson.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm really upset that I did not get to meet.
Yeah, and the last 3 podcasts without him, or 2, or whatever it's been, I meant to say something in the beginning about he's has to take a leave because he's busy with work, and I've totally forgot each time. Well,
now you have, so you're.
And I feel bad. Even when I posted these, I don't even tag him anymore because I just forget.
What?
I feel so bad.
Well, maybe that's why he's not coming back.
That's not the reason.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yes, because it's not like I wasn't tagging him in the ones that he was in before, and then he decided not to. He had other obligations, and then I forgot about him.
But that's you did not. I didn't forget about him.
No,
no one else. His biggest fan, did not forget about him. I know it sounds creepy, but he's just so interesting.
Hey, he's a good dude. That's why, like I said, how it started was I see him. We worked together. I mean, we still do. But I literally had seen him maybe 5 minutes a week. We it's in crossing shifts.
Yeah.
But we always had awesome conversations about whatever just happened to be happening. We have or even if it was just making cracks at stuff that was happening.
Yeah.
We are kind of on a similar wavelength. Or whatever, we can make each other laugh. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I was like, why don't we just do this and actually record it and put it out, and for more than 5 minutes? I'm sure we can figure out shit to say.
Not just in passing.
Yeah, and I'll get other people. We'll get guests. I know people.
I know people. I have friends.
Yeah.
Oh well, hopefully he comes back.
I'm sure he will at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I personally would appreciate it as
would I.
A big fan and a listener.
It makes a nice dynamic, you know?
Yeah.
We work well off each other.
I agree.
So the way you ended up here.
Where?
Well, not here because we're in your house.
I'm confused.
I meant as a guest.
Oh.
Because this is what happens. We always we've talked about this before a bunch of times. There's nothing planned, right? We just, even with guests and stuff, we just hit the ground running, we press record, and we go.
Shoot the
Now,
shit.
obviously, we have ideas of what we'd like to say and have stuff in mind, when we had Rebecca, she's an author, obviously we want to talk about her book at some point, get into it somehow. So there's always that. But then there are times that we totally forget, like my gas at the Scion dealership, which was actually a Nissan dealership. I didn't even buy it at a Scion dealership, yeah. Because it was used, so they have all types of used cars, yeah.
We're going to go off on a tangent.
I know, exactly. I will never get back to it. That's exactly what happens. I should have named this, instead of On Track, it should be On a Tangent with DJ Tracktion.
You You should do that. It's not a bad idea.
I'm not going to change the name now.
I mean, it could be a good idea.
On a tangent? I don't know if that's...
It makes sense because it's like a tangent from OnTrack.
It does.
And then you can do OnTrack for your awesome blog.
Yeah.
OnTrack.
I do need a name
Tracktion,
for the blog,
and then On a Tangent. It makes so much more sense. Because you're never on track on this, actually.
I'm not.
You're the opposite of on
actually,
track.
it was funny. I was thinking about what I'm going to do for the next blog, and I was like...
Maybe I'll go on a tangent.
Well, no, I was actually purposely trying to avoid doing that.
Oh.
Because I was fleshing it out in my head, and I was like, yeah, but then do I have to talk about this side of it? And I'm like, no, because that's kind of going on a tangent, and I believe the readers, like the people that read it, are going to be smart enough to be like that there is that side to it. I don't have to talk about it, both of them.
Right.
You know, this is kind of the point I want to get across, and I'm aware this side exists, but do I have to dedicate any paragraphs to it? No, because then I will start going off on tangents, and when it's something, it's different when you're talking, it's different when it's written.
Yeah,
you don't want to. It's going to be too confusing. You're going to go.
People are going to be
off,
like, "Where am I?"
And you're never going to get to your point. When you're to me, in the written form, get to your point. You know, do it in a clever and stylized way if you can, or whatever your style of writing is. But don't go off on too many tangents. You know.
Yeah, I guess it's true because people kind of like lose focus because they're not as not that you're not engaged, but like when you're listening to someone. It's kind of like you already have the attention.
And since I have the tendency to go off on tangents, that I have to make the conscious effort in my writing to not do that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying.
So yeah, and like I said, I've definitely talked about being a shitty brander and marketer. So.
Right, which is why you have me. Not that I'm like any kind of famous marketer. But
you did work for a company that put people's names on pens, so
exactly.
So you have a little experience, I guess.
I sold the shit out of those pens. Let me just tell you. And actually, my job after that, I got because I could sell pens. My travel job, because in my interview, like, because it was a sales job, she's like, "Sell me this pen." I was like, "Well, actually, where do I start?"
Did she jack that from Wolf of Wall Street?
Probably. Oh, yeah. Never really thought about that.
What was your answer?
No, Wolf of Wall Street didn't come out at that point.
But I feel like that story was maybe...
I don't know. I sold her
could have circulated.
She was shocked.
I would like to know how you did this now.
Oh, well, I can tell you.
Well,
I can sell you a pen. No, she gave me a pen, and it was like one of those clicky ones with the little clips on the side. So I said to her that she needed to buy the pen for her company, because a pen is the best piece of marketing you could ever have. Because, well, numerous reasons, but there are like 7 different locations that you can put your logo. Anywhere you look on a pen, you can put a logo. And how many times do you lose a pen to someone stealing it? So you have a pen, someone uses it, they take it, they give it to someone else. It's like spread like a disease. Not
I don't think you want to think about your business.
Well, not like a disease, but like, you know, it's just...
Unless it was a pen for Pfizer.
Well,
that could work out.
Yeah, I mean, it could. But, and also pens, like, everyone needs a pen. There's no one in the world that doesn't need a pen. Maybe someone illiterate or something. Yeah, and like some pens are iconic, such as, remember the Commerce Bank pen, the green one? Everyone knows that pen.
I think
it was green and it had like a slanty top.
That's TD.
But it was Commerce before it was TD. Okay. Exactly. You know then the TD pen.
Yep.
Because it's such a good pen.
And it's a shitty pen. I hate that pen. But
except
they give them out for free. So
exactly.
You can go in there. Do you know how many servers go in there and just take a handful of pens?
Yeah, but you know what? You know that pen.
Yeah. No.
So their marketing has worked. And pens in like marketing costs are like
probably all they talk
25 cents each.
Oh, yeah.
When you buy them, you can buy like 1,000 for maybe $100 or something, if that. So you can buy so many of them. They spread to like everyone, and they're useful. So why not?
Yeah.
And she wanted my pen.
She was like, "I'm gonna buy my own pen back from
you." I want my pen.
All right. How much is this?
$500. No, but you know.
So all right, we are getting on track.
Oh, because we were totally on a tangent. How cheesy are we?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever, it works.
One of the common denominators, like the string that holds all the guests together, is they've all have some type of, whether it's being like an entrepreneur or kind of like making their own lane or following passion projects, like kind of doing what they want to do, right? And then trying to turn it into a way to make a living. So you had Rebecca as author and artist. You know, we had Kung Fu Frank with the rope darts and stuff. You know, Steve's doing stand-up. Like, everybody is kind of doing something they want to do, trying to make their own lane. And so what I liked about the decision that you made in life was after college, and you were like, all right, I'm working at this marketing company, whatever, and doing whatever, you know, just living. You know what I'm saying? Just having a job and just going through the motions. You were like, I think I want to try I want to try moving out of the country. Like, I just want to go live here. And you were like, I remember it's just being, because like when you majored in like fucking French, you're like, what the hell are you gonna do with that?
Like, I'm gonna speak French. What do you mean?
Yeah, and then you did the best thing you could do with it. Yeah. You fucking moved to France.
Well, Switzerland.
Well, Switzerland, yeah.
But pretty much France.
Yeah, and it's pretty much right next door, that part. And then it's one of their national languages anyway, so it's a high speaking. They all speak French there for the most part. One of the languages they speak. So you were like, yeah, I'm just gonna go do this. Like, I don't like, what job are you gonna get there? Well, I'm gonna be an au pair. I'm just gonna watch kids. I'm basically gonna be a glorified babysitter, but I'm gonna do it in a different fucking country and in a different culture and like learn all about that and just experience. Yeah. You know, just experience it. And I was like, I'm sad I'm losing my friend, but that is fucking awesome. Like, that's a big ball decision right there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It was one of those things that I was just like, my life is so boring right now. Not that you're boring.
Thanks. We only hung out all the time. Great.
No, I mean, obviously, like, that was great. But, like, you know, my day-to-day, like, routine life, like, my job, my career, which was not really a career. You know, I enjoyed my job because I enjoyed who I worked with. But, like, you know, I wasn't going anywhere. Like, it was a time when the recession was kind of, like, really in full swing. And, like, everything was depressing. And I was like, I can't live in this country anymore. I need to get the hell out of here. So that was really, like, the only way I could find to go.
But and
it worked.
It was perfect.
It worked really well. I had somewhere to live. I got to immerse myself in a different culture. I met awesome people. And, you know, I had a great time. And then it spiraled from there. I met my husband, obviously. Well, not obviously to everyone else.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would that be obvious, actually?
Well, okay, so while I was there, I met my husband, and then, you know, now I live in Singapore.
Yeah. So what's cool about that is, like, you used it, you fully took advantage of the situation that you had there, because you, already being on that side of the world, you just started going everywhere that you could. You know, and it's easy. It's like kind of like, I want to say like we could drive to like New Jersey and Connecticut and Pennsylvania and stuff like that. You would do that, but you're in totally different countries every time.
Well, that's what's so cool about Europe.
And the transportation there to do so is easy. Like, and then I started planning my trips around. I'm like, well, where are you living? Because that's how I'll see the world.
Where am I visiting now?
And I thought it was really cool. They take, you know, like those like little planes, like taxis almost, like to get just to get to.
Well, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it was very inexpensive. I remember it being like fucking nothing.
Yeah, and $50 and you're in Italy, and then you know you can go to France or wherever. It's awesome.
It just took Tom $30 to get across town.
Seriously, to get like down the street, basically. That's upsetting.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, it's something in the U.S. that we don't really have. It's like really affordable air transportation.
Yeah, I mean, you can in certain things. Like, you can go to Florida for $100 from here.
Really?
If you got to find the right one. It might take some searching.
But do you have to fly Spirit Airlines?
Yeah, it has to be one of the shitty ones.
I hate
it. Might be JetBlue. You might be able to get JetBlue though. JetBlue might
love JetBlue.
Might be like $129 or something, which is still reasonable for that. But you're going to Florida. It's not $50 to get to Italy.
Right. But even so, like $120 to get to Florida is way more than $50 to get to Italy. Like, it's about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's still not as low cost as it is in other places. It's kind of sad because our country's so big. There's so many places that you can see and that you should see.
Now, do they have it where like those type of flights go to like a whole, like you can get to a lot of different places? You have a lot of options. Like here, you know, it's a little harder. Like you have Florida, it could be a cheap destination. You might even get to LA for fairly cheap because it's a hub. Because
there's so many people.
You know, and maybe you get to Dallas, but and you can probably get to Chicago,
Atlanta.
But that's almost it.
Yeah.
You know, and easily accessible. Like, is it more so where you can get to more places, like whether it's say Rome, Venice, Luxembourg, like wherever. Like,
definitely, like Rome would be like super cheap.
And I'd assume all the major cities, maybe not all the major ones, but definitely capitals.
Yeah, a lot of major cities would be like cheaper than others, but like, it also depended on how easy it was, and I guess how many people would go to them. Like from where I was going to Eastern Europe or going to like Greece or Croatia was really expensive because you had to fly from one place to the next to get there, and
so it wasn't
like, you know, going from Geneva to Rome. It was a quick, 2-hour flight. You're there, and I guess everyone wants to do that. So you know, you could get it. You could literally get it for like $20.
Yeah, at that time probably nobody wanted to go to Greece.
Well, I don't know because it was really cheap. I mean, I never got there.
And my sister actually went.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she like it?
I've never talked to her about it. I have no idea. I'm assuming she did.
I'll have to ask
Maybe I'll find out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you should. Maybe you can do it on your next podcast.
Yeah, I would like to. Like to have my sister and my cousin on it would be pretty cool.
I would love to listen.
My sister's awesome. Like we've hated each other growing up. Not hated. That's a strong word, obviously. It was that sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
But this is verifiable. She was a huge bitch.
I do kind of remember something about that.
She was a huge bitch, right?
She was adorable, though.
She's cute as hell, but she was a huge bitch. Now,
yeah, I think she was. But
she grew out of that.
But she is related to you.
Yeah, but I'm not like a huge dick.
Aren't you?
Not in the same way. Like, again, I think maybe we've touched on this before, where it's like people have like certain personalities, tendencies that you're known for, whatever. And I remember at work we've pointed this out where like I could say something and everybody would laugh at it, right? Somebody else could say the exact same shit and they'd be like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of
like
what their
delivery and
and so that's why I'm kind of a dick, but nobody really thinks I'm a dick.
Right. They don't believe it.
Yeah. Like.
Well, I guess So she just didn't have that skill yet.
No, she was a bitch.
I think that you both probably just had headstrong qualities.
Oh, without a doubt, we're both stubborn as hell.
Yeah.
But again, just you go through changes when you grow up. Sometimes you grow out of certain things or whatever. And she's an awesome human now.
She's not a bitch anymore.
No, I mean she can be if she wants to be. It's not her default setting anymore.
Well, that's good.
And no, and she works in DC now, and
really
I have a split home family, so they had moved to Florida when she was fairly young too, like before high school, and she ended up I think she's living in Virginia now and working in DC.
What does she do?
I have no clue.
Really?
I don't know exactly what she does.
What is it related to?
It was DC shit, so
like
there
government?
You go. Yeah.
Is she a CIA agent?
It's definitely not.
Not that you know of.
So anyway, she does that. She does some interesting shit, and she's on her own, and that's cool. My cousin, who grew up in Florida, lived in New York for a long time. Also married someone from England.
Oh, okay, I know about her.
And now they've moved to Germany.
Oh, this is the cousin from Germany.
Somehow both their jobs, they both like one got offered a position with their job in Germany, and then the other one was like, "Hey, got anything in Germany for me?" And they were like, "Sure, we do actually."
What?
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So they were like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna do this." So to have all three of us together actually I think it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
And especially my cousin's husband, like he's kind of a funny dude and shit, and he can get into like some political discussions, and he has that a very outsider's look at it.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Because he grew up in England, so.
Yeah, totally different viewpoint. Yes.
And it's just fun listening to him talk.
Well, yeah.
Anybody with an accent? No clue. You know what's funny too? he's actually been here so long. Like they've been married for however long, at least 10 years, I'd say, and he's been here he was here in the States for however long it was, and I remember when they had like his like I don't know, like green card party or something like that.
I remember you telling me. Yeah, about that.
When like they started filing for it and all this other shit, and it took him about 10 years to get it.
Shit.
And he was already, I mean, he was married to a citizen for all this time and everything. He was working here, all this other shit, and he finally got it, and now they moved to Germany.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
So I don't know what that's gonna be like if they ever make their way back here, or what it turns into. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I figured that could be fun.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd listen. Well, I will listen eventually.
We'll see if we get to that. But some more. Tell us some more about your favorite countries, or what was your favorite?
Oh man.
What did you see maybe that you expected to maybe not like, or to be one way, and you were like, hey, this is way different than what you hear about, or maybe the slant it gets from just quote unquote common knowledge of it.
I don't know. I mean, I love France. France is probably one of my favorite places. I mean, people say like French people are super rude and everything and hate Americans, but they don't. Actually, I think what I expected, like just traveling outside of the U.S., was that everyone hates Americans. Which, I mean, some people do. But like, at first, when I first went, I was like, oh crap, I can't tell anyone I'm American. Like, what am I going to do? Like, they're all going to hate me. And like, no one that I've encountered outwardly hated Americans. Like, people were interested. I mean, they were surprised maybe that I lived outside of America, and they were surprised that I spoke French, but like, there weren't like hostile people that were like nasty or like stupid Americans. Like, I was totally expecting everyone to just think I was like the dumb American. And if they did, which is very possible, they didn't show it.
They
hid
it very well.
I had no idea. Yeah. So like, I mean, maybe I'm just an idiot and didn't pick up on the cues. Maybe I am the stupid American. But like, no one was nasty. No one was like, anti-American, which is what I think a lot of people expect. I think a lot of people think that the rest of the world hates us, which, maybe I will just leave it at that. No, I just think, I think that Americans expect everyone to hate them, but they don't really. And people aren't as like nasty and unfriendly as you think. They're just not as open as Americans are.
Do you think it really helped that you were able to speak French though and speak their language?
Yeah, but like traveling in like Italy, for example, I don't really. I mean, I know a little bit of Italian, but I don't speak Italian. They were nice to be there. Or Germany, I speak not a single word of German. I mean, I could say like 9 no. That's it. And like that's genuinely all the German I know. Like wunderbar. Like,
where were we that looked like Germany? Remember we went somewhere, was it in Switzerland? I feel like it probably was. And we were like, wow, I feel like I'm in Germany.
Was it in the mountains?
It was maybe on the way.
Stadt?
Or something. Could be. That sounds German.
Yeah, I mean, well, half of Switzerland is German, so it could have been. Did I take you to Colmar in France?
We went
because that looks like Germany.
We went where the cheese was in France. Was that in France?
Gruyere.
Yeah.
That's Switzerland.
Oh, whoops. We weren't in France long. We just like kind of drove through it.
No, I don't think we went to Colmar because that's German French. That's Alsace.
It's probably in Switzerland.
It was probably like Muren and Gimmelwald.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it was on the mountain. We went up the mountain.
Yeah.
It like basically looks like you're in front of a green screen on a movie set. It's just the most beautiful scenery you'll ever see.
A cool story. We had met a couple.
I forgot about that.
That were traveling, I think, for their honeymoon.
Let me just start by saying this is when Josh visited me.
Oh yeah.
In Switzerland.
Yeah, we made a cool little vacation of it. One of my other friends too. We were like, shit, if we have the opportunity, let's do this shit. Yeah, hell yeah. So.
See, you seized the opportunity as well.
Hell yeah. So we met her. We flew into Rome.
Yep.
Spent a day or two there. Then went to where you live in Switzerland. Spent another like 3 or 4 days there.
I think we spent a week.
Something like I think we were there 10 days total. So whatever it was.
Oh yeah, okay, maybe.
So then we spent like maybe 5 days there. Did some road tripping. Went to the Swiss Alps. That was cool and shit.
Oh, so nice.
And then we went back to Rome.
Yeah.
I spent the last 2 days there or whatever.
Flew out of Rome.
Yeah. So the first 2 days that we were in Rome, we found an awesome little restaurant there.
Yes.
And hidden hole in the wall, and it was fabulous. We kept going back. We went there, I think, almost every night.
3 or 4 times in like 2 days.
Yeah. We were like, oh, let's explore some of that. We're like, yeah, but everything there was so good.
Like, why bother?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all Italian food at the end of the day.
So we met a couple there. Like I think it was on their honeymoon or something, and they were like, oh, we're traveling all of Europe, right? And you had suggested a path that they take. You're like, hey, I just did this not too long ago. Go this way. Try to see these spots along the way. And
I totally forgot this part of the story.
Yeah, and enjoy yourselves. So like, all right, cool. And that might have been the first or second day. I think the first day.
Yeah.
So then they went on their way, and then like, a day later, 2 days later, we flew back to Switzerland. Or we flew to Switzerland for the first time actually, and we just did whatever. We did stuff around there, and then a couple days after that, we decided to do the road trip and go up to the Swiss Alps and stuff.
Which is where I suggested to these people.
And so this is like 5 days after we met them.
Yeah.
And what's crazy about being on the mountain there is that it's so gigantic you can't fathom it, and there are levels to it. Like there's a trolley thing that pulls you
like
up
a ski lift.
Yeah, I don't know how they fucking invented this or built it or or sent the first person to test it out.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the scariest things ever.
Oh yeah.
And especially when there might be like 6 levels.
Something like that.
So like, by your second level, you're high up as fuck. You can't even.
You can't see the bottom.
Yeah, you can't even, and you can't imagine that there's 4 more levels on top of you. So. We stopped at 2 because it costs to go up each level too. Right. So it's a thing where it's pretty expensive to get to the top anyway.
Yeah, it's like $100 or something more.
Yeah, but for almost something like that for each level to go up.
Quite expensive.
Every time you go on the thing. So all right, well this is pretty fucking high. We'll chill out here. We'll
go there.
And it's crazy how they built there's towns that are just on these mountains.
Yeah, it's this weird tiny little villages, and you're just
and you're
how
literally
did I get here?
It's high. This is how high up you are. You're literally in the clouds.
Like they're
I tried to capture one.
You did.
That was my goal, was to take a cloud back with me, which obviously did not work.
I mean, I think
but I tried. Got it. I had it in my hoodie for a while.
Yeah,
and stuff,
it's just dissipated.
Well, yeah. So you're high up there. You're in the clouds, and then again, there's 4 more fucking levels ahead of you. So on the second level, we're exploring the little town there and stuff, and all the shops, and just randomly looking for stuff in a shop, we run into the same fucking 2 people that we met in Rome and had suggested
days before.
Yeah, and they were like, "We did exactly what you said, and we're loving it all."
Thanks a lot. Well, took my own advice.
But it was just so weird. The chances of seeing it, we could have been in the same place at the same time there in that same general vicinity, but have been at different levels or whatever it was, and
or a different day.
Definitely different day and stuff.
It could have been anything.
It was just one of those really
in the middle of nowhere.
Weird fucking timing things that you're just like, how does something like that happen?
Oh,
it was
awesome.
Just a weird coincidence.
Yeah, because it wasn't even we were in Rome and then we said, oh, you should go to this place outside of Rome. It was you should go to this place in another country. 10 days from now. We'll meet up. We can have some food.
And then to be and then also to even recognize that it was that, because you're seeing so many people and everything.
I think that the guy might have been ginger.
No, I don't think that was true at all. No.
Blonde?
No, I think he was dark hair.
Really?
Yeah. But either way,
my memory is.
And then again, and on this fucking mountain, you have a hat on and hoodie on and stuff. It's fucking freezing.
Yeah.
So even if he was ginger, you have no fucking clue.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known.
No offense to any gingers, in case we're
no,
not allowed.
Nothing wrong
I don't know if we're allowed to call them that.
It's just a color.
Are they mad? Can you offend a ginger by calling them a ginger?
It's possible.
That's what I'm kind of being careful about.
I don't know.
I'm not unsure. So
a redhead?
Yeah, I think
that's about as equal as ginger. I mean, it's a color. I don't.
Ginger's not a color, yo. If there's no ginger crayon, And ginger's not that color. Like, if you ever looked at ginger, it's like way more brown or tan than red.
That's true. I wonder where that comes from. The UK, I think.
I always just, for some reason, I just thought it was because of the freckles. I don't know why. That would equate
why
to
is
ginger.
That ginger?
I have no clue. Maybe when you, like, grate it to put it into something, grated ginger look like...
Why didn't they call it, like,
I'm just going to stop.
Parmesan cheese or something? Like, you grate that.
Because it rolls off the tongue easier?
Ginger. I mean, ginger is a nice word.
I like ginger. I put it in my kale smoothies.
Let's not go there.
They're good. I'll make one for you.
I don't want kale. I mean, I like kale salad, but
I make spinach ones. You can make sometimes with basil and mint in it. It's really good. I'm just saying.
We'll take that to part 2.
It's easy way to like get some healthy shit into you.
I get it. I understand. It just.
And like I said, you can go with spinach. It tastes way better.
I don't like spinach.
A lot of people don't like kale. The taste is strong, but you put the right stuff in it. You don't even taste that shit.
I don't know if I believe you. Spinach has quite a strong flavor.
Well, I'm talking more kale. So the kale. Well, what? Last summer I made a lot of different ones. Now I've kind of it just was easier to buy kale or buy spinach and like freeze it, and it's already like I put it into packs, so I just like take that and drop it in. It's real easy. But when I was first experimenting with them, I was doing like I want to say like spinach, basil, and mint in one. That was good. I think there was one I had like arugula in. Different combinations. But I remember the basil and mint one being really good. And it's like...
Honestly, I'd rather just eat a salad.
It's different because obviously... like.
Why do you need like a liquefied salad?
Well, because you're also putting other... like there's a protein powder I'm putting in, coconut oil. There's other stuff that has vitamins, nutrients, whatever, that you're getting that you're not going to put onto a salad, you know?
Yeah.
Although you can kind of make...
You could put nuts in a salad.
I guess, but
you can make a dressing with coconut oil.
I was going to say that, yeah, you can make that with that or like an MCT oil, which would be pretty good too.
Yeah.
I make guacamole with MCT oil.
I hate guacamole.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't really like avocados.
You know what? I never liked them either. I worked at Chipotle. I was the manager at Chipotle for like a year, and I never...
They're supposed to have good guac.
They have really good guac, because now I eat it. So
now
it's good.
You know.
But when I worked there, I never touched the shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll eat it if it's like on something that I'm eating, but I would never order it.
Even when I first started, like when I first started to experiment with avocado and guac and try to eat it,
yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was at Chipotle and I was like, just throw it on, whatever, instead of getting on the side. Yeah. And they sometimes, they don't give you a real big spoonful. Maybe it was a new girl or something. Oh, yeah, they put a bunch on, and I actually couldn't finish my meal. I was like, this is too much. I can't do it. I shouldn't have jumped into the deep end. Like, what did I do? So, and then I started trying just a little here and there, and like chips and stuff, and a good one. And now I'm like, I love this shit, and I make it like all the time, or I get it.
I don't like it at all.
It's like first, it's super good for you.
No, I know.
And it actually, and now like I've acquired a taste for it, where it's good. Yeah, it's weird.
I've had it once where I liked it, and it was like at this Italian restaurant, and it was on top of... Yeah, but it was good. It was like, basically it was a tiny mozzarella ball, and then on the top there was like an avocado... They called it an avocado cream, but I think it was just like a blended... It was almost like a really, really, really soft avocado thing. It must have had like garlic in it. It was really good. So... That I liked, but because it didn't taste very avocado-y.
Yeah. Well, that's how I kind of feel about the guac that I make anyway.
Yeah. You disguise it.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good way to get anything that you don't like.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like trying to feed it to a toddler. It's like trying to get a toddler to take medicine or something.
Yep. Or a dog to take a pill.
Yeah.
Wrap it in some cheese, you're good.
Yeah.
Peanut butter. Although they wise up to that pretty quickly.
Eat around it, spit it out.
Yeah. Yeah, my dog for a while would just eat a pill if I told her it was a treat. It was amazing.
I got a treat for you.
And like, do you want a treat? Sit. She would sit. I'd give it to her and she'd eat it. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then like a few days into it, because she was like on antibiotics for something. A few days into it, she's like, yeah, fuck this. She's like, where's the actual
that treat sucked.
Yeah, like, I don't want this. So I gave it to her, and she'd spit it out. I gave it to her, spit it out. I'm like, oh, fuck. Eventually, I
had to disguise it.
I had to disguise it, but...
You know what? Other thing I had, avocado-based, that you're going to, as soon as I say, you're going to be like, you're fucking full of shit. It was an avocado mousse, like a chocolate mousse that was made out of avocado. About that. And surprisingly, it was fucking good. Like, if they didn't tell, like, say someone just served it to me and didn't tell me it was avocado mousse, I would have no idea.
I've heard about that. And I would like to try that because I'm intrigued by it.
I have the stuff to make it. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
But once I get into the new place and stuff, that's definitely something.
I've seen them do, like, raw chocolate cake with avocado.
Yeah.
I watched a TV show on raw people.
I also heard the suggestion that when you make cookies, substitute the butter with avocado, and you'll have no idea. And I was like, interesting. I already have like healthy cookie recipes, so I'm not really too quick to like try that one.
Yeah.
Because I use like grass-fed butter in it and stuff, and I don't think it's not a lot anyway. So.
Yeah,
I'm just like, just keep making it the way I'm making it.
Just leave it.
It's coming out good. If it's not broke, don't fix it, you know? But I'm excited to actually start trying a lot of different new recipes and stuff now that I pretty much am going to have to do all the cooking.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? She's such a good cook.
No, she's such a good baker.
Really? She's not a good
difference. Cook? Nah, not that great.
Hmm.
Not bad. Like, she can make some stuff.
Right.
You know, but her forte is definitely baking.
Well, everyone's got their thing.
Yeah. And so I somehow have to jump into the cook role. And especially since I'm a little going to be now, especially since it's just on our own, I'm going to be a lot more picky about what I want to eat and make and stuff.
Right.
You know? So it's like, it's probably just better I just make it my fucking self.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not exactly looking forward to this role.
You should get Pinterest.
I technically have one.
What?
Oh, yeah. Speaking of fucking starting blogs, and one that I kind of didn't go back and really update a lot, the Better You blog.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really.
I just did it as but because it's only a Facebook page. It's just a fan page.
Oh, really?
And a
fan page for what though? For yourself?
It was before.
Like, I'm Josh. I eat healthy. Be my
no,
fan.
Like that's just what they're called. They're just, it's not a person page. You know what I'm saying? You either have fan pages or person pages.
Right, but like, did you write on it?
Yeah, no, there's stuff I do put on it. Like there are like some exercise tips, food tips, recipe stuff. Like how I've arrived at like kind of like what my food philosophy. You know what I'm saying? It's like I share that information and those sources. Like, hey, see what you get out of this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to start, like, because that's what I feel it is. Like, a lot of people just don't know where to start.
Yeah, no, it's like a directory.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like my experience, and especially when I started it is when I was starting. So it's like I had a lot of that.
Right.
You know, where to start, where to continue it, how to like kind of sift through all the information that there is. You know, because there's a lot of bullshit, basically, for lack of a better term. You know, there's just a lot of bullshit, and it's hard to tell what's what. And it's also important to keep in mind that we're all a little different anyway. So some stuff is going to work really well for you that might not work for someone else.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and vice versa. But if you know how to kind of look at it all, you can figure out what that is. Mm-hmm. And kind of easily, too, once you, like, get into it, you know? So that's something I kind of have to revisit a little more, though.
Yeah.
And I probably will.
Got a lot to
But
look
the
at.
Pinterest thing that I made was basically connected to that.
Okay.
So it had, like, you know, like recipe stuff and things like that.
Oh, that's good. So then you can just continue with that.
Yeah. So I got to be a little more proactive with that, the Pinterest side of that, I guess.
Pinterest is great. It's just very addictive.
I have not.
You have to allow yourself to get into it. What you have to do is, like, just search for one thing and then, like, let your mind wander. That's how I go on YouTube, too.
Oh, that's dangerous. You can easily waste days.
Absolute days. Well, I play this game with myself. I play this game by myself where I go... it's not really a game. I'm a loser. Basically, I'll like find something I want to listen to on YouTube, like a song or something, and then I'll only allow myself to click on something that's
the related stuff.
And like I see where it takes me, and it's a really fun game.
There's I think it's on Vimeo. They had like a similar thing, but they also have like option that says go down the rabbit hole.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
That's
it kind of
just sends you somewhere random.
Yeah.
No, it's dangerous though because you
that
could
be a new fun game for you.
Really, I don't need.
How is it in Because now you're currently living in Singapore.
Yeah.
How do you ever encounter where you get like this video's not available?
Oh yeah, but that's what you have proxies for.
Yeah. So but it happens a lot, or
all the time.
All the time, gotcha. Especially in a place where it seems like they're pretty strict.
Quite censored.
Yeah. How is it like? How does it compare to like? I mean, say what you will about like the media here and stuff, but there are still outlets that are like kind of free and do what they want. So how is that comparing Singapore? Like, is it overtly obvious to you that it's like, whoa, they really have a lockdown on what gets out, or?
I think they have quite a lockdown. I'm not 100% sure because I don't really watch the news there, like their news.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you look at their newspapers, it's quite kind of
propaganda-ish.
No, well, maybe not propaganda, but just like it's very mild. So like it's not a lot of bad stuff. They like to focus on the good stuff.
Like good stuff in general, of like what's going on.
Yeah. In general, but also about Singapore.
Okay.
So, but also that being said, Singapore is a special kind of place where it really is as safe, for the most part, as they claim. To an extent. I mean, there are, I think, a lot of things that get swept under the rug to keep the numbers low. But, like, as far as the atmosphere and the feeling and, like, the day-to-day, the crime there is super, 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 super ridiculously low. So, like, there are things that happen that people don't talk about or that don't get reported. So in that case, I do think it's a bit censored. But, it's believable because it's such like a safe feeling place. So like, it's not like if it were in Manhattan and they were trying to say like, oh, we haven't had a murder in 10 years. Just doesn't make sense. Like you can tell that's being censored. However, if you were in some kind of little town in the middle of America where, everyone knows each other and they're all happy tending the fields or something. I don't know, like a farming town and everyone's happy and there's, very little crime. To say their news is optimistic is just kind of because there's not much going on.
Mm-hmm.
So Singapore to an extent is kind of like that, I would say, where, they try to focus on good stuff and they definitely try to portray Singapore in the best light possible. But I think that, like, it's believable because it is genuinely one of the safest places in the world.
Yeah. So, like, all, like, any, like, the stuff that does happen that might get, like you say, swept under or kind of covered up a little, it's still pretty minuscule. And,
yeah,
like,
it's not like you're having serial killers or something.
Yeah,
it's still like someone got robbed. Like, in Singapore, they do these things where if something happens, like a crime, they put these not massive, but like a big sign outside with like police, the police logo, and it'll say like, crime has happened here, and then it'll put what the crime was and the date. I guess to warn people.
How long does it stay up?
I've never really counted, but a few days, maybe a week or two. But usually the things I see are bike theft, break-in. I think my favorite was illegal loan harassment.
Illegal loan harassment.
Yep.
So was someone trying to get paid?
I guess
they were
so.
Like, hey, you owe me money?
Yeah. I really think that was it.
Holy shit.
So they actually put a sign outside just to say this. So this is like the kind of crimes that like are a big problem for them.
Wow.
I mean, well, you have to think like it's a country with extremely strict laws, and they enforce them. So people know
Don't
what they're
fuck
getting
around,
themselves
man. Yeah,
into if they're going to do that shit.
It's
so
like,
unless you're really fucking insane, you're probably not going to rob a store or, you know, rape someone or murder someone or, you know, traffic drugs or prostitutes or what, you know, like these things carry quite severe, you know, punishment. So
what are some of those?
I mean, I don't know for a fact any of them, but they do have.
They are known for.
Well, they have caning.
Yeah.
And they don't hide it. I mean, we were talking to Singaporeans once at a bar. We were drunk and like someone was asking because they have a very strict drug policy. So they're saying like, you know, what is the
Isn't that where the movie takes place that I think had Anne Heche in it and stuff?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it though.
I did too.
Whatever.
Well, that's gonna bother me. But yeah, it basically like they do caning, and apparently these Singaporeans were telling us. I don't know how true it is or if they were just trying to like play it up to the expats or whatever. But like they said in primary school, maybe middle school, they show a video of someone getting caned to all of the students, and they said that it is so severe that because they cane you on your ass basically because I guess that's the most cushioned part of your body, so they can't break anything. But they said that your like ass cheek, the person's ass cheek like split. That's how hard. I mean, they don't just. It's not just like some like prison guard that's doing it.
That's a permanent mark.
It's a professionally trained martial arts master that does this. It's not just like, you know,
it's a
Joe
fucking
Blow.
ninja.
Yeah, you basically are caned by a ninja.
Holy shit.
So like, you know, Singaporeans at least see this. They know this. Like, you're really not gonna fuck around.
Yeah, you're not gonna shoplift or.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everything. It's not like if you cross the street wrong, you're gonna get caned. Yeah. But you know, for drug offenses, you can get hung.
Holy shit.
But I mean, like graffiti or, you know, maybe rape or harassment, something like that. Like, you can easily get caned, and it could be some drug offenses as well. You know, that stuff stays with you forever. And it's not like you just get caned. You get caned plus jail.
That sucks.
So it's not like you're just
right after you get caned, you get
free.
Thrown in jail. That has that's insult to injury right there.
So, like, I mean, you have to
is it public caning?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not like, you know, they're hanging you at the gallows or anything. But it is, you know, it's known that that's what's done. And, you know, they don't kind of take it out. Oh, sorry.
Did you just break something?
I did. They don't, you know, change the rules for people. They had that case in the 90s, early 90s, with the American guy who's like a teen. I don't know if he was a teen or like in his early 20s. He was in Singapore and he graffitied some cars.
For graffiti.
And he got caned. And I remember like Clinton or something.
Yeah.
Like tried diplomacy and all of this shit to get them to stop. And they were like, no, this is our rules. These are our laws. He didn't follow them. And this is what happens. And he did.
American.
Well, he was a stupid American, and he did. And, you know, a lot of people, I'm sure, could say it's a super strict, ridiculous thing to do. But honestly, now that I live there and I see what it's like, I don't necessarily disagree with the idea because it works.
Now, how? All right, but
because it's not.
Well, because we're used to the notion of cruel and unusual punishment, and that could be considered.
Oh yeah,
considered
definitely.
That. But what my, I guess, intrigue in it is how the legal system is though like how your options of in defending yourself.
I mean, it's not just like someone accuses you and you get caned. You get like a trial and there's a legal process. I don't know what exactly it is.
Yeah.
But it's not just like, you know.
Oh, Joe Blow said that you were loud with him trying to collect the loan.
Right, exactly. Like, but I think it has to be like someone has to press charges.
I'm pretty sure nobody is named Joe either.
No, probably not. Well, there could be. But, I mean, like, for example, Tom's colleague, so they work in an office building,
and he had a motorbike, and he parked it in the parking lot every day, and with his motorbike he had a helmet. He left his helmet there, and one day he goes back to his bike and there's no helmet. Someone stole his helmet. So, he reported it to the security, like, someone stole my helmet. Have you seen anything? Because in Singapore there are cameras everywhere. So they said, no, we haven't seen anything, but they looked through the things, their tapes, and they found they saw it happening. So, they said, we'll keep an eye out. We don't have the guy, but we'll keep an eye out. If we see him again, we'll let you know. So they found, the guy comes back, and they found this guy, and they let Tom's colleague know, we found this guy, here's his information, whatever, what do you want us to do with it? It
was his choice to press charges?
Well, yeah, you can either press charges or deal with it yourself, basically. Not deal with it yourself as in, beat the shit out of this guy.
Yeah, you can go punch him.
But, if you don't want to...
steal your helmet back?
Well, basically,
they let him steal his helmet back?
Well, no. What they said was, we can press charges, but just be aware that he will probably be going to jail for many years. Or, we can give you his contact information. You can try and just get your helmet back or get the money back, whatever. So he's like, all right, give him a note. Give him this note saying, I want to meet with him. We got
you, bitch. You better make this right.
Basically, I want to meet with you, and if you don't agree to meet with me, then I'll, press charges. So the guy met with him, with the thief, and the guy, said, what the hell?
My bad. Here you go.
Yeah, well, the thief guy basically was, begging on his hands and knees, please, I have a family. I'm so sorry. I'll do whatever you need. I can't go to jail.
I fucking clean your fucking house for a month.
Yeah, so the guy basically, I think, just made him pay for the helmet, give it back or something like that, and agree never to do it again. And he didn't press charges, but so I think there is some sort of a process. So maybe they press charges and if they're found guilty, but it's hard to get away with things if you're on camera doing it.
Yeah.
So...
But at least if they give you, if they, that was
that was a very minor offense.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be different if it was
raping
Exactly,
someone
that's exactly
or
what I was going to say.
They'd
be like, hey, well, we found him, if you want to just go talk to him.
What do you want
to
do with him? Yeah. It's not like he kidnapped someone. It was he stole a helmet, which, he shouldn't have done, and that's a dick move, but But
there's a severe penalty for it, so.
Right, so you want to make sure that you're okay with this kind of thing. So, but people know the penalties, and I'm sure that this guy will never do that again. And, there are things that happen. Right before I left, some guy got stabbed in broad daylight. There was a fight, and someone stabbed someone else. And they caught the guy that did the stabbing. Because it was in the middle of the day. I mean, it was in the middle of the day, in the middle of the business district at lunchtime.
Oh, shit.
Okay? It was in broad daylight. Tom passed by it. He saw the guy on the floor. This was after they, found the other guy. But, that guy will probably... I don't know what'll happen to him. Maybe caned, maybe worse. I don't know.
I was going to say, probably definitely caned to stab somebody.
I'm sure he will be caned.
But it's whether or not they might fucking just hang him or some shit.
Right.
Or...
Well, I don't know what is death penalty punishable other than importing drugs into the country is the one thing I know for a fact because when you go in, they have signs in bold letters penalty is death.
I wonder where that comes from because... There's
a lot of Southeast Asia is like that.
It's weird because if isn't where a lot of opium, heroin stuff doesn't a good amount of come from a lot of. Well,
yeah, countries? I mean in Singapore there used to be opium dens.
Yeah, and then they
But maybe they
fly it in from Vietnam and stuff like that, and the areas close to it.
Yeah. But they don't want that now.
Understandable.
Which can't.
And I get it for those type of drugs too. But there's just a lot of stuff out now about, obviously the benefits of marijuana, the benefits of psychedelics.
Yeah, but they're not really progressive in that sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're not. They won't be the first on the forefront of that.
No, they might be one of those.
They'll probably be at the end of that.
There could be a lot of other things that are, that are missed out. But
I fully agree. But I do.
How is it with? How is prescription drugs culture there? About just random stuff. Like
what do you mean?
As
far as like abuse, or just like in regular life?
I guess both. Like, is it prevalent at all in regular life? Like,
not that I know of.
Because I know, like, we're actually like one of the only countries that allow pharmaceutical companies to have commercials for like their products. You know what I'm saying? For like drugs and stuff. And to be like, ask your doctor if you need this. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Not. The doctor's supposed to see you and be like, hey, this is what's up with you. You know?
Not like,
do you think
you want this?
Hey, you know what? My leg is restless. I think I have that syndrome. I might need these.
Yeah, no. I'm not sure.
It's so, well,
They definitely prescribe a lot of shit.
Is there a big, like, is there an abuse culture of it then, or is it?
No, I don't think so.
Or what about even with alcohol, like?
Drugs. Alcohol, they drink.
But is it, because I'm assuming that's a big deterrent for not drinking and driving too, and stuff like that.
Well, not a lot of people, people do drive, but most people that drive have a lot of money. And they have very expensive cars and probably don't want to drive drunk in like an $800,000 Ferrari or something like that, which it would cost there. So like, I don't know. I mean, they definitely drink and they definitely get really, really, really wasted.
But because like the only way too, like.
Well, that's the thing. It's their only legal outlet, but. Alcohol is super, super, super expensive there. Really? Well, think about it this way. A bottle of...
almost everything has to be imported.
But it's a sin tax. It has nothing to do with that. It's because they don't... Sin tax. It's a sin tax. Wow. Basically. I mean, that's not what they call it, but that's what it is.
That's what the slang is for it.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, like, so a bottle of Gordon's gin in New York is $20. A bottle of Gordon's gin, the same bottle in Singapore, is about $60.
Holy shit. That is a huge fucking difference.
A pint of beer, if you get it on, like, happy hour special, that's US dollars. I'm doing the conversions in my head. But US dollars for, like, a pint of beer at a happy hour, like, $10? And that's like cheap.
No wonder, like, is that?
But they still get wasted. But it's real freaking expensive too.
That's probably why they try to stay like skinny and shit. Like, man, I take less beers to fuck me up.
Well, but there are places like, so I live by the river, and there's this area by the river called Clark Key, which is like, have you ever been to like downtown Disney or like City Place in Orlando? It's like an entertainment city kind of. It's like, well, it's just this area where there's lots of restaurants and bars and clubs and whatever. And at night, on the weekends, it's just filled at around 2 a.m. by the taxi stand and by the 24-hour McDonald's. It is like jam-packed with the drunkest people you'll ever see. Young, I mean, they're on the younger end of the spectrum.
So it's like 4 a.m. at Penn Station?
Worse.
Oh, wow.
I'll put it into perspective for you. So I went to this 24-hour McDonald's one night with my friends after a night out. It's maybe like 2 o'clock. We get in, we order, we go to sit down. And on our way to getting a table inside the McDonald's, we passed, just on the way in to the seat, we passed 2 people vomiting on the floor. In the McDonald's. Inside the McDonald's. We sat there and proceeded to eat, which I had a lot of trouble doing.
Do that after that?
I really was having issues. And there were about another 2 people vomiting inside the McDonald's. Different people from different tables. Like, I shit you not.
They didn't even know each other.
They didn't. So, I was, like, really about to lose it at that point.
I would have at least gotten it to go.
I don't remember why we didn't. I just couldn't deal with it. So, anyway, at that point, I really had to pee. Because we had been drinking, and I was like, all right, whatever. So, this is a McDonald's that was in a mall. And the mall
was closed except for the McDonald's, and like there are a few clubs in the mall. So yeah, it's really weird. But basically, so there are two. I think there were two clubs inside this mall. So there are people drinking, whatever. On my way to the bathroom from the McDonald's, there was, I would say, about 7 puddles of puke on the floor.
Ugh.
Then, when I get to the
I
bathroom...
don't even know if I want you to finish this story.
Every single toilet was covered in puke.
So
basically it was
handle
just...
this shit.
No, they can't. So it's way worse than Penn Station at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, I'd have to be around 4 or so. Well, we can cut this if you need to pee.
Thanks. Thank you.
Because we're close to that 3-hour mark.
All
That's
right.
I really try not to go too much longer than that.
A sweet spot.
Yeah. So it was cool. I'm glad that we were able to get to do this.
I'm glad that we ended this on vomit.
Yeah, no, perfect
Thanks
way.
for that. We will continue on a much nicer topic maybe next week.
Sure, we'll just forget about it.
Okay.
We'll try to start on a nicer topic.
Yes, and maybe Foxy Jackson can come.
Maybe we'll try to bring it back around and finish up on how to have a kid put on hold for you until
5 years. Could happen.
So sorry about all the little pauses and stuff, but they're really not going to affect you too much because it's just a pause. So it's not like it's dead air for fucking 20 minutes. But I know it breaks up kind of the continuity and the flow of the conversation, but
I think
it's still better than a commercial. Because at least nothing else is being injected in the middle of it, you know? So thanks again. Whatever, djtracktion.com. Find me there. Everywhere else at DJ Tracktion. Just Google it. Stuff will come up. Click on it. I'd appreciate it. Until next time, enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
This should be live by then.
All right.
I'll try to get it up tonight or first thing in the morning, so it can be like a holiday edition.
All right.
And you know what? Actually, I forgot to mention in the beginning. It's the 10th episode.
Oh,
that's like a milestone.
High five.
We're in double digits.
Yay! I'm glad I could be there.
We have no other milestone until triple digits. That's gonna take so long.
It's fine.
I guess maybe 50 is something to be proud of.
I'm gonna just run.
All right, you're gonna go. All right, so I'm gonna shut this off. Thanks again. Enjoy your holiday.
Happy holidays.
Peace out.